Chapter 3458. This voice clearly spread in all directions. After the shadowless family members heard this, they gradually calmed down. At the same time, they were more excited than ever. They knew that there was a terrifying existence in their family's ancestral land. Normally, no one was allowed to enter, but they didn't expect it to be their patriarch. And this patriarch was still alive. More importantly, this old ancestor was the pinnacle existence that was still alive back then. He was the Sage King. That was a Saint King. He was definitely a super terrifying expert in Jyotian. Such a person, even if weakened, was not someone that ordinary sages could compare to. So, hope reappeared in their eyes. In front of them, Patriarch Shadowless was trembling with anger. His eyes shone with a terrifying gray light. The death chi on him was even more overwhelming. He didn't expect to be suppressed by a young man. Damn it! Your physique, your sword energy, everything you have is mine. Patriarch Shadowless roared crazily. He realized that his opponent's body was definitely super strong. It was very likely that it was one of the strongest bodies in the universe. If he could get his hands on such a body, he could completely revive within 100 years. At that time, he would be a true Sage King. Moreover, with this body, he had a high chance of becoming a supreme saint. Shadowless old ancestor was in the midst of the assassination. His body was wrapped in terrifying death Tao patterns. The entire sky was shaking. This time, he was really angry. This power was even more terrifying than before. Kid, there's no need to hold back. Just attack him directly. I'll remind you of some of his secret techniques or flaws. Black Mountain transmitted his voice. This battle was unusual. He didn't hold back. After all, this wasn't a young genius or an ordinary expert of the older generation. He was a peerless expert who died tens of thousands of years ago. This was a Saint King, so he had to remind him. Lin Xian nodded. The sword chi on him became even more terrifying. In an instant, he turned into a river of sword chi and slashed forward. Boom, boom, boom. The sword chi and the death chi clashed. The two exploded with endless energy. Everyone's scalp went numb from the power. One had to admit that Patriarch Shadowless was very powerful. Although this was his weakened state, he was still much more terrifying than an ordinary level 2 saint. Brat, hit him on the head. Black Mountain transmitted his voice. Lin Xian controlled the 81 nomological swords and attacked quickly with the power of the 5 elements. The battle was very intense. Shadowless was even more shocked. To be honest, he realized that the other party was simply too terrifying, especially that sword chi. It was extremely terrifying. Even with his means, he was almost injured. Especially now, his opponent was attacking the top of his head with all his strength. This made him feel as if he was facing a great enemy. The top of his head was one of his greatest weaknesses. How did the other party find out? Could it be that the other party wasn't a young man, but an old monster that had lived for countless years? Thinking of this, the Grand Ancestor roared madly. The death aura on his body covered the sky and formed 9 gates of death, circling between heaven and earth. That terrifying death chi made the Shadowless clan's experts tremble in fear. Brat, go to hell. The death's door opened, and 9 death's hands appeared. The poo blotted out the sky and smashed towards Lin Xian. Clang! Lin Xian waved the Great Destruction Spear and slashed at the death's hands. The terrifying power shocked everyone. Many people's bodies cracked. What terrifying power! Lin Xian was also shocked. Normally, under such circumstances, even a second heaven sage would be killed by him. But now, these death's hands were not destroyed. As expected of a Sage King, even if he had been dead for countless years, his power was still shocking. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Old Ancestor Shadowless and the 9 death's hands merged together. The terrifying death chi exploded again. He was like the god of death. His body was pitch black, and his fierce aura surged. Lin Xian used the Kuren Pong movement technique and quickly dodged. At the same time, the Dragon Sword Soul and the Great Destruction Spear exploded, and the sword chi slashed at the death's hands. The combination of the two was terrifying. It was like 81 divine dragons that kept attacking. The death's hands exploded. First, One of them shattered. Then, like a chain reaction, 7 of them shattered in an instant. Old Ancestor Shadowless was shocked. What kind of sword chi was that? It was too terrifying. It could even break the death's hands that he had summoned. This young man's combat power was too incredible. If I can get my hands on your body, then all of your combat power will be mine. Old Ancestor Shadowless was too excited. He had never seen such a terrifying young man. This was definitely a young great emperor. Thinking of this, he stopped activating the death's door. Instead, he formed a hand seal. His 2 black eyes turned into 2 balls of hellfire, and then suddenly enlarged and jumped. Oh no, it's a soul attack. Hua Feiyu's face turned pale. If Lin Xian was possessed by their old ancestor, it would be over. The people of the Shadowless family cheered. Their old ancestor was a sage king. His soul was terrifying. Kid, you're here. Seize the opportunity, He Shan said telepathically. Lin Xian also sneered. How dare you try to possess me? You're courting death. The last thing he was afraid of was being possessed. He Shan sent out a wave of demonic qi that surrounded Lin Xian to prevent others from sneaking up on him. Lin Xian stood in the sky and didn't resist at all. He allowed the 2 balls of black fire to jump around. The 2 balls of black fire jumped between his eyebrows and disappeared. The next moment, old ancestor Shadowless laughed in his mind. Stupid brat, go to hell. The black fire in the sky grew bigger, trying to devour Lin Xian's soul. Buzz. The next moment, a dragon's roar was heard. Then, a dragon-shaped sword rushed over and cut the black fire into pieces. A miserable cry was heard. Damn it, how is this possible? This is the great dragon sword. Old ancestor Shadowless roared crazily. He knew about the great dragon sword. It was a saint technique that was famous in the world in his time. He didn't expect that the other party would have the great dragon sword. No wonder the other party's combat power was so strong. In an instant, he quickly escaped. As expected of a sage king, he was very decisive and could escape from the great dragon sword. However, at this moment, a golden light appeared in Lin Xian's eyes. It was very deep and turned into 2 golden vortexes. They were aimed at the black fire. This is? Old ancestor Shadowless screamed crazily as if he had seen a ghost. At this moment, he was even more shocked than when he saw the great dragon sword. He was too familiar with this feeling. Why? Why do you have this thing? Old ancestor Shadowless fled crazily. Chapter 3459. However, his experience and secret technique allowed him to escape from the dragon-beating sword, but he couldn't escape from the 2 golden vortexes. The black flames were swallowed by the golden vortexes and disappeared. What? Where's their ancestor's soul? I can't sense it. Outside, the experts of the Shadowless family all went crazy. What's going on? Could it be that their patriarch had been killed? This was too shocking. At this moment, they all collapsed. The body of the Shadowless family leader, who had been controlled by their ancestor's soul, fell from the sky and turned into a dried corpse. Did they win? Hua Feiyu heaved a sigh of relief. However, her expression changed in the next moment. The surrounding Shadowless family members were all stunned. Even Lin Xian frowned. His expression became extremely solemn. Ahead, a roar came from the ancestral land like a ghost, echoing through the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Then, countless death chi appeared in the ancestral land and formed a world of death. This world of death instantly enveloped Lin Xian. The surrounding Shadowless family members were all sent flying. They could only watch from afar, trembling. What's going on? Is their ancestor still alive? They were shocked and doubtful. Lin Xian snorted and turned his head. His golden eyes pierced through everything and looked at the black coffin on the black altar. At this moment, Dao runes kept flashing on the black coffin. Boom! The lid of the coffin suddenly opened, and a figure sat up. The figure stood up. The aura on his body was so terrifying that the entire sky was collapsing. Kid, this is that guy's body. His corpse is here. Be careful. Black Mountain transmitted his voice. Lin Xian nodded. He didn't dare to be careless. It wasn't just a wisp of soul, but the other party's body was also there. Damn kid, I'll kill you. A cold voice came from the figure in front of him. Then, dozens of blades of death rushed over. Each of them was condensed by the laws. It was very terrifying. Lin Xian used the Kuan Pong technique. He didn't resist it directly. He could feel the terror of these blades of death. However, the blades of death kept increasing in number. In the end, he had no choice but to fight back. With a clang, the great spear of destruction collided with it, causing his arm to go numb. What a strong power! It was much stronger than before. However, Lin Xian was taken aback. Just this bit of strength? That's all there is to it. He let out a cold harumph and charged forward, tearing through the death chi and arriving in front of the figure. At this distance, he could clearly see the figure sitting up. It was a person with disheveled hair. However, his body was not as withered as one would imagine, nor was it made of bones. Instead, it was a person, a very normal person. However, his body was covered with black Dao runes. It was very strange. At this moment, two balls of black flames danced in his eyes as he grabbed at Lin Xian with his huge hands. Lin Xian was startled. This was Shingguin King's corpse. It definitely couldn't be resisted. Therefore, he quickly dodged. Relying on the Kuan Pong technique, he circled around, occasionally releasing terrifying sword chi. An intense battle broke out. Suddenly, old ancestor Shadowless' huge hands appeared in an unbelievable place and grabbed Lin Xian. Not good. Lin Xian's heart raced. He couldn't resist the power of a sage king. He roared and resisted like a madman. Old ancestor Shadowless said, "Go to hell." The death chi on it was extremely thick. It wanted to tear Lin Xian apart. Lin Xian roared. The great dragon sword transformed into the shape of a dragon and rushed out. With a whoosh, it shattered the huge hands. Whoosh! Lin Xian was pushed far away, his face pale. In the distance, old ancestor Shadowless roared like a madman. What's going on? Black Mountain was also stunned. No, there was something wrong with that thing. What's wrong? Lin Xian asked. He was still in shock. That guy was a sage king when he was alive. How strong is the Saint Ninja King's physique? Even if you have the great dragon sword spirit, you won't be able to break it. However, your sword strike just now actually broke his palm. There's something wrong with it. Hearing this, Lin Xian was also stunned. Yes, he was only a level 1 sage, and the Sage King was a level 8 sage. The difference between them was too big. The corpse of a Sage King was definitely terrifying. He had seen a living Sage King with his own eyes. He couldn't break that kind of body. But just now, he used the great dragon sword soul to cut off the other party's hand. What's going on? Could it be that the other party wasn't a Sage King? That was impossible. The other party's soul was at the level of a Sage King, and the techniques and mystiques were very similar. However, it might not be his corpse. Not his corpse? What did that mean? Have you heard of reincarnation in a corpse? Black Mountain's voice was serious. I thought it was related to reincarnation, but now it seems that it's not just reincarnation. It's also related to that place. That place? Where's that place? Lin Xian was even more surprised. However, Black Mountain didn't explain. Instead, he said, "If I'm not wrong, this isn't the body of a Sage King. So, you can attack without hesitation, but be careful of his mystiques." On the other side, old ancestor Shadowless's expression was ferocious and miserable. His broken hand quickly healed again, and it was as good as new. He had completely stepped out of the black coffin. "Kid, I want you dead." Sword of Death. He waved his hand, and suddenly, 36 black sword lights rushed out from his body. Each of them carried an extremely terrifying aura of death. They cut through the void and slashed toward Lin Xian. "Do you think I'm afraid of you?" Lin Xian stomped his foot and rushed over. He struck out a terrifying sword chi to collide with the other party. At the same time, he kept approaching the other party. As long as the other party wasn't the body of a Sage King, he was not afraid. As expected, under his powerful physique, his sword chi was like a peerless, immortal light. The two of them fought in close combat, causing explosions in all directions. The terrifying aura of death hit him with a clang. However, Lin Xian's sword chi also hit the other party. Old ancestor Shadowless was sent flying, and a large crack appeared on his body. Not only that, but the entire world of death was split open. The people of the Shadowless clan felt their scalps go numb. They saw the scene inside through the crack. They saw their old ancestor being split apart by the other party's sword, which made them unable to believe their eyes. The old ancestor was a godlike existence in their hearts. He was their clan's greatest hope. But now, such an existence had been split open multiple times by the other party. Previously, it had been a subsoul. Now that their old ancestor's main body had come out, how could he not suppress the other party? Chapter 3460. Patriarch Shadowless roared madly. His cracked body healed at an extremely fast speed. Lin Xian was greatly surprised by this scene. Although it wasn't the body of a sage king, it was still very strange. Ordinary sages would find it difficult to heal after being split open by the dragon sword soul. However, his opponent had destroyed the dragon sword soul's aura so easily. It was really strange. The Shadowless clan all cheered when they saw this scene. Great! Our patriarch won't be killed so easily. Our patriarch is a sage king. He won't die. They were too excited. Hua Feiyu's expression was very serious. How could a sage king die so easily? He could be reborn with just a drop of blood. He wondered if Lin Xian could kill their patriarch completely. If he couldn't, there would be endless trouble. Dragon Sword, 9 Young Divine Body, I really underestimated you. I didn't expect you to have so many treasures. No wonder you could force me to this point. Speaking of this, the 2 balls of black fire in his eyes jumped with incomparable greed. Such a body, such a divine ability, I must get it. You're very strong, but it's a pity. You're too young. You don't know the strength of a sage king. Now, I'll show you. Patriarch Shadowless sneered. His palms formed a seal, and his body flickered and instantly disappeared. He disappeared. Lin Xian frowned. He looked around and stood there with a serious expression. In the distance, the Shadowless clan was also stunned. They couldn't sense their patriarch anymore. Suddenly, an elder exclaimed, "Shadowless Greater Shift." This was a peerless divine ability. Many people cried out in surprise. Ordinary sages couldn't learn this divine ability. It was an extremely core divine ability of their clan. But in the hands of their patriarch, it was a piece of cake. The Shadowless Greater Shift was no different from a spatial divine ability. After merging into the void, it was impossible to find. This was the strongest assassination technique. Buzz. At this moment, an arm appeared in front of Lin Xian. It held a death scythe and slashed directly at Lin Xian. Lin Xian was sent flying. Lin Xian was sent flying, spitting out a mouthful of blood. His face was pale, and his body was trembling. With a flip of his hand, he slashed forward with his sword. However, the death scythe in his hand disappeared in an instant, and he only managed to split open a large spatial rift. That's great. In the distance, the Shadowless family's people cheered. Shadowless Great Shift. That brat was dead for sure. He can't hurt our ancestor at all. Shadowless Greater Teleportation. Lin Xian frowned and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. He Shan transmitted his voice and asked, "Brat, how is it? Would he be able to hold on?" "Don't worry, it won't affect me." Lin Xian activated his heavenly fortune god eyes. The golden vortex in his eyes grew colder. Suddenly, he thought of something and fiercely threw a punch to the left. With a clang, a death scythe was struck out. A figure also appeared, but it disappeared again in an instant. What? Blocked? How could this be? The powerhouses of the Shadowless family were all stunned. That was Shadowless Greater Teleportation. Even a Sage King might not be able to detect it. What was going on with that brat? How could he detect their ancestors' attack? He must have been lucky to have hit the target with a random punch. Someone explained. The others nodded. They felt that this was the most reasonable situation. However, they were all stunned next. Another attack came from behind, but Lin Xian blocked it. The collision between the Spear of Great Destruction and the Death Scythe caused countless sparks. The world in all directions was shattering. Lin Xian was pushed back, but he was not injured. He blocked it again. What was going on? The Shadowless family's people were going crazy. Even the Shadowless family's ancestor frowned. He saw Lin Xian's eyes, and his face darkened. Damn it, those eyes. It's those eyes. With a roar, he turned into a stream of light, and the death scythe in his hand turned into a world of death. Shadow kill. The terrifying death scythe didn't attack Lin Xian. Instead, it attacked the shadow under Lin Xian's feet. Lin Xian was stunned. The next moment, his body trembled, and he revealed a look of shock. His shadow was slashed, and his body was also injured. Damn it, he quickly dodged. He actually had such a move. As expected of a Sage King's attack. It was unexpected. Kid, you can't escape. Although you have the 9-young divine body and your physique is shocking, where is your shadow? It's just an ordinary shadow. I can attack it at will. So, you will definitely die. Next, the death scythe kept attacking Lin Xian's shadow. Lin Xian could only use the Kuan Pong technique to move in the sky. He frowned. Damn it, he couldn't be so passive. He had to counterattack. Although the attack just now had injured him greatly, he could still withstand it. So even if he was hit again, he would be fine. He didn't believe that the other party had an immortal body. The other party must have paid a price to revive from a dead person. So, he decided to fight it out with the other party. Buzz. Lin Xian's body changed. Like a real dragon, he swam in the sky. Instead of running away, he attacked directly. His golden eyes locked onto a target. The Great Destruction spear in his hand danced. What? You want to fight it out with me? You're courting death. Old Ancestor Shadowless's body moved strangely, but one of his hands stopped in another direction. He was still attacking Lin Xian's shadow. This scene was extremely strange. Lin Xian's shadow was struck and was injured. However, he gritted his teeth and roared. The Great Destruction spear danced and rushed towards the fleeing figure. With a squelch, the spear pierced through the other party's shoulder. Old Ancestor Shadowless didn't care at first, but after being pierced, he immediately rolled and screamed. Half of his body was shattered. Even the head was slightly shattered by the impact. But the strange thing was that there was no blood dripping. There was only endless black chi. This scene was extremely strange. Lin Xian frowned. This body was too strange. Heishan said, Kid, look at his broken head. There seems to be something there. Lin Xian activated his heavenly secret divine eyes to the extreme and looked carefully. He saw it. It was a pearl, but he only saw part of it. The runes on it were too complicated, and the aura on it was extremely strange. It made Lin Xian's hair stand on end. Suddenly, he felt that the pearl seemed to be related to his heavenly secret divine eyes. His heavenly secret divine eyes jumped and shone with golden light. It was a black pearl. He sent the image he saw to Heishan. After Heishan saw it, he gasped. Could it be the legendary reincarnation pearl? Chapter 3461. What is the reincarnation pearl? Lin Xian asked. Black Mountain said, I don't have time to explain. Attack the reincarnation pearl and shatter it. He'll definitely die. Since he had found his target, Lin Xian didn't stop attacking. Across from him, Shadowless body recovered in an instant. He laughed loudly. I'm undying. You can't kill me at all. Even if you have the dragon sword soul, you can't kill me. Indeed, his body was as good as new. Even his aura was at its peak. Is that so? Are you sure you're undying? What if you don't have the reincarnation pearl? What? Shadowless was stunned. He screamed crazily with a terrified expression. Damn it, how did you know? He was crazy. His biggest secret had been discovered by the other party. The reason why he had been able to survive until now was all because of the reincarnation pearl in his body. But it was his biggest secret. Others didn't know it all. Even if they saw it, they wouldn't recognize it because of the broken pearl on his body. But Lin Xian had recognized it at a glance and said it out loud. He was terrified. Damn it, get out of my way. He had gone crazy. He wanted to escape. He paused and rushed toward the black coffin in the distance. You can't escape. Lin Xian rushed up and used the dragon sword soul. A dragon shadow appeared on the Great Destruction spear. Its terrifying aura surged into the 9 heavens. Boom, 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 boom. Hit after hit, Shadowless only wanted to escape, so he didn't fight back at all. His broken body healed again, but Lin Xian's attacks were too strong. After thousands of times, his recovery speed slowed down. In the end, it took a long time for him to heal. At this moment, he had arrived near the black coffin. He heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that he could only escape and find another place to rest. But how could Lin Xian let him escape? He formed a seal with his palms, and a pair of golden eyes appeared in the sky with a terrifying light. They looked down on the world like the eyes of a god. Shadowless was so scared that his scalp went numb. Those eyes terrified him too much. No, damn it. His expression was extremely ugly. Under such gazes, he was like an ant, which made him scream like crazy. Everyone from the Shadowless clan heard it. Kill him for me. In the distance, the people of the Shadowless clan were all stunned. How could they not listen to their ancestors' orders? Immediately, someone rushed over. These were all sages. As they merged into the void, they brought with them powerful killing techniques as they attacked rapidly. They were all elites of the Shadowless clan. Killing a saint of the same level would be a piece of cake for them. At this moment, they attacked together and surrounded Lin Xian. Humph! Acting recklessly, Lin Xian directly opened the Dragon Sword's sacred domain. A world enveloped these experts. Inside, sword energy weaved unhindered in all directions. Those people cried out miserably one after another, hacked apart by sword energy. Then, even their blood was wiped out. Roar! The roar shook the entire Shadowless clan. Heishan's expression changed. This old fogey broke the things I set up. I'm afraid that some supreme elders and living fossils will appear. As soon as he finished speaking, a figure appeared behind Lin Xian. The light in the figure's hand was too terrifying. It was like a heavenly blade that slashed over. Lin Xian threw a punch with the back of his hand. His fist was like a true dragon, bursting with power. With a bang, the two collided. Lin Xian's arm was sent flying, while the figure retreated. However, to Lin Xian's surprise, the other party's body did not split apart, which meant that it was a supreme elder. Fortunately, this old fogey seems to be afraid of your eye technique, so that roar just now only released a portion of them. There are about 3 or 4 supreme elders. You should be able to deal with them. You can deal with them. You're too unreliable. Hurry up and think of a way. You can't let the others wake up, Lin Xian said with a frown. At the same time, he attacked. Indeed, this time, for supreme elders were resurrected, and they attacked crazily. Not only that, but the other powerhouses of the Shadowless clan also formed formations. One killing formation after another pierced the 9 heavens. The 4 supreme elders also formed the killing formation of the 4 divisions. It was an extremely terrifying formation. In addition to the strength of the 4 supreme elders, the combined killing intent pierced through the 9 heavens and 10 lands. The terrifying killing intent was unimaginable. In an instant, Lin Xian was enveloped by the killing formation, and he felt great danger. Humph! He snorted coldly. On one hand, he activated the heavenly secret divine eye, firmly locking onto the Shadowless ancestor. At the same time, he roared. The spear of destruction in his hand shot into the sky, turning into a dragon-shaped sword chi. The terrifying power caused the entire world to tremble. The sword chi collided with the killing formation. Boom! Boom! Lin Xian was hit, and many cracks appeared on his body. Golden blood flowed out, but the other party was more seriously injured. Under the powerful sword chi, the killing formation of the 4 divisions kept trembling. The rebounding force caused the bodies of the 4 supreme elders to split into pieces. They roared and reassembled their bodies. But they were destroyed 7 times in a row. They were seriously injured. Killing formation of the 4 divisions, change. The 4 supreme elders roared at the same time. At this moment, they all burned their bloodlines. Clearly, for the sake of the patriarch, they had to kill the enemy in front of them. At this moment, everyone's hearts beat wildly. The aura of the killing formation of the 4 divisions was too terrifying. Everyone in the 9 heavens and 10 lands was trembling. Lin Xian also felt a great sense of danger. His eyes flashed with a cold light. If you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. He took out the great sage pagoda, held it, and threw it forward. He had already put the great sage pagoda away. Although he couldn't use the great sage pagoda's terrifying power, but using the great sage pagoda as a weapon was no problem for him. The great sage pagoda was like a giant mountain in his hand. He swept it in all directions. This was a great sage artifact. Its power was incomparably terrifying. Just by relying on its strength alone, it wasn't something that any killing formation could resist. One hit. The killing formation of the 4 divisions was shattered into pieces. The 4 supreme elders were reduced to minced meat. The second hit. The third hit. Lin Xian swept across all directions. Countless members of the Shadowless clan were affected and turned into a bloody mist. They were completely annihilated. The rest fled into the distance, trembling. It was too terrifying. With the power of one person, he had almost overturned the entire Shadowless clan. Perhaps Lin Wuti was the only one who could do this. Boom, boom, boom. Damn it, the weapon in his hand is a great sage artifact. It's too scary. Run. The 4 supreme elders roared. However, they didn't run. They only let the ordinary disciples escape. The 4 of them charged forward again. They were determined to save their ancestor even at the cost of their lives. Chapter 3462. Lin Xian scoffed. He pulled out the great sage pagoda and threw it at the 4 of them. Suppress them. The grand sage tower was filled with an incomparably majestic aura. It was so majestic that it directly pressed the 4 grand elders to the ground. The 4 great elders' bodies shattered, healed, and shattered again. Just like that, they had been completely suppressed. Lin Xian scoffed. He turned to look at Patriarch Shadowless, but the next moment, he frowned. They must be tired of living. He realized that the people who had run away were charging at him again. Their expressions were ferocious. What was going on? Were they not afraid of death? Even the great elders had been suppressed by him. These people from the Shadowless clan were no match for him. Kid, something's wrong. Look, the girl you subdued is coming too. This is an illusion. Patriarch Shadowless had used an illusion in the market. He had controlled the entire Shadowless clan. Lin Xian glanced at Patriarch Shadowless and saw black flames dancing in his eye sockets. The people around him also seemed to have black chi around them. They had been controlled. Since he wanted to bury his entire clan, Yi Futian would fulfill his wish. Lin Xian's expression was cold. He waved his hand and sent out the 5 elemental law. It wrapped around Hua Feiyu and pushed her out. Hua Feiyu's body trembled. Her body recovered, and her face was filled with fear. She did not know why, but she had gone completely crazy and wanted to charge at Yi Futian. Now she knew that it was Lin Xian who had saved her life. She knelt respectfully on the ground and prostrated herself in the distance. The people around her were not so lucky. They charged at Yi Futian like wild beasts. Do you want to die? I'll fulfill your wish. Lin Xian waved the Great Destruction spear in his hand, sending out countless sword chi that swept in all directions. These people were all cut into pieces. Blood splattered everywhere. The entire Shadowless clan was filled with corpses and blood. No, the 4 great elders were suppressed on the ground, but they did not die immediately. When they saw this scene, they went crazy. Their hearts were about to shatter. The elites of their Shadowless clan were falling rapidly at this moment. These people could not block the sword chi at all. In an instant, more than half of them were killed or injured. In the end, those people all fell, and only the 4 of them were left alive. Of course, there was also Patriarch Shadowless. They were all going crazy. Was it worth it to let so many elites fall for an old ancestor? Foolish fellow, your clansmen, your descendants are all dead because of you. Do you still want to resist? Lin Xian put his hands behind his back and looked at Patriarch Shadowless. Shadowless ancestor looked extremely ferocious. Damn brat, who the hell are you? Why are you targeting me? As long as you tell me the secret of Jiang Huanqing's resurrection, I can consider sparing your life. Lin Xian said coldly. Don't even think about it. I won't tell anyone. At first, I thought you were sent by them. Now it seems that you're not with them. Since that's the case, I don't have any scruples. I will kill you completely, no matter the cost. Patriarch Shadowless roared crazily, and the entire ancestral land shook violently. The ground cracked in the distance, and a black formation spread out. The altar and the black coffin shone with a demonic light. What's going on? What happened? Hua Feiyu turned pale with fright. The four grand elders were also terrified. This is the 8 demon god formation. This was the most terrifying formation of the Shadowless clan. It was built with the entire Shadowless clan as its foundation. It would not be used until the last moment. Once it was used, the ancestral land would be reduced to ashes. One could imagine how terrifying this formation was. The four supreme elders' eyes were filled with fear. They had never thought that their patriarch would actually go crazy. Boom, boom, boom. The four elders were pale. They knew that even if Lin Xian did not kill them, they would still die. They would not be able to survive. Patriarch Shadowless floated in the air, laughing wildly like the Grim Reaper. Kid, this is a competition between you and me. Once the 8 demon god formation is activated, nothing can stop it. You will die without a doubt. Now, go to hell for me. A terrifying voice rang out as 8 figures appeared around the spell formation. It was as if they had been summoned from the depths of hell. The 8 figures were very terrifying. They were the essence of the 8 demon god formation. The 8 demon gods could destroy the world. Moreover, the 8 demon god formation had been nurtured with the power of the clan for countless years. It could be said to be terrifying to the extreme. No. The 4 prime elders screamed miserably, and one of them exploded into a bloody mist. The others exploded one after another. They wanted to scream and run as if they had gone crazy, but in the end, they were destroyed by the killing formation. Once the demon god formation was activated, it would kill everyone, regardless of friend or foe. Lin Xian's expression became serious. How ruthless this old madman was. Black Mountain, do you have a solution? Lin Xian asked. Motherf asterisk Kerr. How dare he activate the 8 demonic gods formation? But so what? He was only a sage king when he was alive. I was a supreme sage when I was alive. This time, I will definitely kill him. Black Mountain was also angry. He said, I have heard of the 8 demon god formation and have never set it up before. Therefore, I definitely know the flaw of the 8 demon god formation. If you do as I say, you can definitely break the formation. Lin Xian nodded his head as a resolute light burst forth from his eyes. Black Mountain said, the 8 demon god formation mainly relied on the 8 demon god phantoms. To kill the demon god phantoms, the order could not be wrong. Otherwise, the 8 demon gods would be resurrected infinitely. They could not be killed at all. In the end, those who were trapped would be refined alive. Therefore, the order could not be wrong. Kill the 4th demon god first. I know. Lin Xian found the 4th demon god phantoms in an instant. The great destruction spear in his hand was like a black mountain, slashing down from the sky. Kill. The 4th demon god phantoms roared crazily. Murderous intent filled the sky. It was like a real demon god, charging quickly. At the same time, the other 7 demon phantoms also moved. This was a fatal blow. Lin Xian used the Kuren Pong movement technique and dodged quickly. His target was only the 4th demon god phantoms. Boom, boom, boom. He passed through everything and arrived in front of the 4th demon god phantoms. His attack directly caused the sky to collapse. The 4th demon god phantoms was forced to retreat. It opened its mouth and spat out a demonic sound wave. Countless demonic chi in the sky turned into a pitch-black rain of swords, piercing through the void and piercing towards Lin Xian. Die! Lin Xian snorted coldly and split the rain of swords with his sword. Not only that, the 4th demon god phantoms was also split in half. Lin Xian roared to the sky like a peerless god of war. Who was next? The 7th demon god phantoms. Black Mountain transmitted his voice. Lin Xian chased after the 7th demon god phantoms like a dragon. Soon, the 7th demon god phantoms was also killed. Next, it was the 3rd demon god phantoms. Old Ancestor Shadowless was very calm at first, thinking that the other party would definitely die. But gradually, his expression changed. Chapter 3463. In the end, he screamed like a madman. How was this possible? When Lin Fan had killed the fourth demonic shadow, he thought it was just a coincidence. But when Lin Fan killed the seventh and third demonic shadows, he felt that something was amiss. This was the correct sequence to break the formation. How could Lin Fan break it? How was this possible? This was an extremely ancient formation. He was sure that no one else knew about it. Who was Lin Fan? How did he know about such an ancient formation? Could it be that it was also an extremely ancient monster? Had he somehow come back to life? He didn't dare to imagine it. While he was in a daze, the last demonic shadow screamed. Lin Xian had pierced through it and nailed it to death in the air. The 8-demon god formation was indeed terrifying, but Lin Xian was strong. He also had the dragon sword soul and He Shan, who was proficient in breaking formations. Therefore, the speed at which the array formation was deciphered was extremely fast. After breaking the formation, Lin Xian didn't attack Patriarch Shadowless directly. Instead, he went to the altar. With a single strike, he had destroyed the altar and shattered the black coffin into pieces. No, damned brat! Patriarch Shadowless screamed like a madman. The black altar and black coffin were very important to him. Now that they were destroyed, he felt like the end of the world had come. He knew that he couldn't wait any longer. He had to escape. He turned and ran. But how could Lin Xian let him escape? The golden eyes in the sky shone even more strangely, covering the sky. 2 golden vortexes flew toward Patriarch Shadowless. No, Patriarch Shadowless was so scared that his scalp went numb. He was most afraid of the golden eyes. As expected, the death aura on his body was dissolving at an extremely strange speed. His body was also gradually shattering. Even the reincarnation orb in his body was exposed. Lin Xian grabbed it with his golden hand. Tell me your secret, or I'll destroy the reincarnation orb. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Patriarch Shadowless trembled and knelt on the ground. Don't crush the reincarnation orb. I'll tell you everything. Very well. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. He Shan was also impatient. However, at this moment, Lin Xian's palm was repelled with a whoosh. The reincarnation pearl actually emitted countless black flames that covered the sky and covered the earth, enveloping the entire space. Shadowless Ancestor screamed in agony. His body was engulfed in black flames and burned rapidly. His soul was completely obliterated. Damn it, Lin Xian roared. He wanted to save Shadowless, but it was too late. The black fire was too eerie and terrifying. Not only had it killed Shadowless' forefather, it was also flying toward him. Get lost, Lin Xian shouted coldly, raising his hand and slashing a few times. The terrifying sword Qi could destroy everything. However, when faced with these black flames, they were actually unable to extinguish them. Those black flames were actually able to block his sword Qi. This made him extremely shocked. What kind of flame was this? What exactly was this reincarnation pearl? The terrifying black flames enveloped Lin Xian. Outside, Hua Feiyu was dumbfounded. Was their forefather dead? Was Lin Xian also in danger now? She did not know. In the distance, there were still some people flying over. When they saw the mess around them, it was as if they had been struck by lightning. They all knelt on the ground, trembling. The Shadowless clan was very big. What had been destroyed was the core area. There were also some people from the periphery rushing over. At this moment, when they saw this scene, they all went crazy. Lin Xian did not pay attention to what was happening outside. He now felt a great danger. These black flames were too terrifying. His 9-young divine body was about to be refined. Damn it! It was even more terrifying than his 9-young divine fire. What kind of flame was this? Boom! Boom! The 9-young divine body trembled like thunder, causing the 4 seas and 8 desolations to shake. However, these black flames were not destroyed. Was this the legendary Yama fire? He Shan exclaimed. Yama flames? What is that? Lin Xian gritted his teeth and asked while resisting. The legendary flames of the 18 levels of hell could only be displayed when one opened the gates of hell or opened the 6 paths of reincarnation. This reincarnation pearl was indeed related to reincarnation. What? The flames of the 18 levels of hell. Lin Xian was shocked. No wonder it was so terrifying. Damn it! Destroy it. He frantically activated the great dragon sword spirit and began to destroy the Yama fire. But at this time, the heavenly secret divine eye suddenly turned, forming two golden vortexes, crazily dancing. And the surrounding black Yama fire was absorbed by the vortexes. Kid, you want to forcefully absorb these flames? You might go blind if you're not careful. Heishan exclaimed. Lin Xian said, Damn, it's not me. This eye was operating on its own. He was shocked. He originally thought that the heavenly secret divine eye could not withstand it, but he did not expect that the black Yama fire was absorbed by the vortexes and did not explode with any power. In an instant, the black flames that filled the sky were all absorbed. The golden vortexes slowly turned and then formed mysterious runes, blooming with light. Kid, is there something wrong with your eyes? Heishan's voice was anxious. Lin Xian felt for a while and found nothing unusual. Other than a slight swelling pain and heat, there was nothing else. He could still use his eye technique to see very far away. Lin Xian felt for a while. Indeed, his eyes were a little painful, but it was not serious. It was like a normal fire, and this kind of pain was negligible to him. Your eyes are too strange. Kid, where did you get this pair of eyes from? Li Xian said. I got it by chance. It's called the Heavenly Secret Divine Eye. I got it from a person of the Heavenly Secret Race. What? Heavenly Secret Divine Eye. Heavenly Secret Race. Heishan sucked in a breath of cold air. I understand now. No wonder you can absorb the Yama fire. What was going on? Could it be that the Heavenly Secret Race was related to the Yama fire? Lin Xian frowned even more. These should be ancient secrets, or even ancient secrets that had long been lost. The other sages did not know. It was even more impossible for him to know. Heishan said, Kid, I have heard of this matter. The Heavenly Secret Race was an extremely terrifying race. Their origins were mysterious, and they were not inferior to the Dragon Race, Qilin Race, and other top 10,000 ancient races. In fact, they were even more terrifying. The people of the Heavenly Secret Race all had a bloodline, and that was eye technique. However, their eyes were very special. They could only be opened and activated under certain circumstances. Once activated, the power of the eye technique was unparalleled. Not only that, their eye technique was more powerful the more they used it, and could even evolve in the end. It was rumored that the Heavenly Secret Ancestor had a pair of reincarnation eyes. At a glance, the 6 paths of reincarnation could let you live or die. It was truly terrifying. Chapter 3464. What? The Rinnegan? Lin Xian was shocked. So powerful. That ancestor Tianji, was he also a great emperor? I don't know if there was a great emperor in the Tianji tribe, but the first ancestor Tianji was said to be an immortal. What? Immortal? Lin Xian was even more shocked. Immortal? Wasn't that something countless people dreamed of? Even great emperors yearned for it. However, whether there were immortals in this world was still a mystery, because no one had seen it before. In the end, even great emperors felt despair. Now, the first ancestor of the Tianji tribe was an immortal. Then wouldn't his Rinnegan be an immortal eye? These were all legends. No one knew if there were immortals. However, this was enough to show that the Tianji tribe was extraordinary. Even if ancestor Tianji wasn't an immortal, he wouldn't be any weaker than a great emperor. As for the reincarnation sword, it was said that one of the first ancestors' eyes turned into a divine sword. It was very terrifying. This reincarnation pearl was related to reincarnation. Perhaps it was related to the reincarnation sword or the Rinnegan eye. And you have the Tianji divine eyes. That's why there is such a connection. So that's how it is. Lin Xian's eyes flashed. He didn't expect his Tianji divine eyes to have such a history. He already had the great dragon sword soul of the 5 swords of the world. The reincarnation sword was also related to him. There was also the heavenly punishment sword, which was related to the Sikong family. He also had the Sikong Great Sage's Great Sage Pagoda. He had to admit that it was really strange. If you put it that way, the Yama flames should have been absorbed by the Tianji divine eyes. He didn't know if he could use it. Lin Xian's eyes flashed. He tried to communicate with it. The golden runes in his eyes rotated slowly. Suddenly, a black flame flowed out. Whoosh! When the black flame appeared, it instantly burned the void in front of it into nothingness. So powerful. Lin Xian was shocked. He didn't dare to use it too much. Although he had the Tianji divine eyes, the Yama flames were too terrifying. After using it for a while, he felt a little pain in his eyes. It seemed like he could only use it as a killing move. Lin Xian felt that this Yama fire could burn a third heaven sage to death. This gave him another powerful trump card. Heishan also said, "Kid, make good use of your heavenly secret divine eyes. If you can use more Yama flame, you can even burn a true Saint King to death, let alone a third heaven saint." Lin Xian was overjoyed when he heard this. However, he knew that the current him did not have the strength to do so. This was because if he did not control the Yama's fire properly, he would end up burning himself. But no matter what, he finally had another trump card. It seemed that coming to the Grand Spill planet this time had been the right choice. Not only did he meet Gu Santong, but he also learned the secrets of the heavenly secret god eyes and the reincarnation sword. Now, he even obtained the Yama's fire. However, Lin Xian still narrowed his eyes. Who had given Shadowless the reincarnation orb to revive him? This was still unclear at the moment. Black Mountain shook his head. Although he had an idea, it was too shocking and he was not sure, so he did not tell Lin Xian. "Young master, are you all right?" At this moment, Hua Feiyu quickly flew over from afar. Her face was still incomparably pale. Lin Xian shook his head and said, "I'm fine." His gaze swept past Hua Feiyu and looked at the surroundings. There were still people from the Shadowless clan around. They had all rushed over from outside the clan. Basically, the elites in the core area had all been killed by him. Although the Shadowless clan had not been completely destroyed, they had suffered a great loss. When Lin Xian's gaze swept over them, the people of the Shadowless clan trembled and their faces were filled with horror. You actually killed one of our experts." They saw the mountains of corpses and seas of blood around them and immediately went crazy. "Young master, what should we do with these people?" Hua Feiyu asked respectfully. Lin Xian's eyes flashed. He said, "I don't have much energy to care about the Shadowless clan. However, it would be a pity to throw them away. How about this? I'll leave them to you. From now on, you will be the new patriarch of the Shadowless clan." "Yes, young master." Hua Feiyu knelt respectfully on the ground. "Don't worry, young master. I will run the Shadowless clan well. As long as young master says the word, I will do anything." "All right, you can get up. Next, you can take over the clan's affairs." Lin Xian was ready to leave. It was a good choice to leave the Shadowless clan to Hua Feiyu. As long as they dared to betray him, he could guarantee that their fate would be worse than those who had died. Moreover, he believed that with Hua Feiyu's intelligence and what had happened today, he would definitely not betray him. In this way, it was equivalent to him taking control of a clan. Although it was not certain what he could make the clan do, it was just based on the strength of the Shadowless clan. Although they had suffered a great loss, they still had a lot of resources in their hands. They could regularly send cultivation resources to Lin Xian. When one reached the Sage Realm, the resources needed were even more and more precious. Therefore, there were only benefits and no disadvantages for him to take over a clan. He gave Hua Feiyu a transmission array that could be used to transmit resources. If there was danger, Hua Feiyu could also use this transmission array to call for help. After that, Lin Xian left. He returned to the Gu family. Gu Santong and the others had been waiting anxiously for a long time. To be honest, Lin Xian had been gone for so long that they were very worried. However, when they saw that Lin Xian had returned, they all heaved a sigh of relief. Gu Santong rushed over. "Brother Lin, are you all right?" "Don't worry, the matter has been resolved. Don't worry, the Shadowless clan will not dare to trouble you anymore." Although Lin Xian's voice was not loud, it was like thunder to these people's ears. The matter was resolved? They could not believe it. One must know that the Shadowless clan was like a huge mountain in front of them. They could not breathe under the pressure. But now, Lin Xian had resolved it so easily? Just what level had the other party's strength reached? Was he really unfathomable? After that, Lin Xian did not leave immediately. Instead, He asked for a secret room from Gu Santong and began to cultivate in seclusion. He had just obtained a new flame, Yama's flame. He wanted to study it and master it as soon as possible. Just like that, Lin Xian went into seclusion. However, the storm did not stop. Such a big thing had happened to the Shadowless clan. The entire core area was basically shattered. Such a big shock could not be hidden. Therefore, the news quickly spread. In an instant, the entire Great Yin planet was shocked. The Shadowless clan had suffered a great loss. The core area and elite powerhouses had been killed. Such a big thing was like a gust of wind that swept through every corner in an instant. Everyone went crazy. They could not believe it. The Shadowless clan was one of the top clans. In this world, they were an overlord. How could such a clan be hurt? Could it be that the other top clans had joined forces? Chapter 3465. For a time, countless large families and forces went to investigate. They had to figure out what had happened to the Shadowless family. Who knew what was going on? What was the situation now? The Gu family naturally sent out martial artists. When they learned of this news, they immediately sucked in a breath of cold air. Could it be that this matter was related to Lin Xian? Their first thought was that this was impossible. Although Lin Xian was strong, he was only one person. The Shadowless family was a huge family with countless experts. There were many saints. How could they be beaten to such a state by a young man? But besides Lin Xian, who else had contact with the Shadowless family, and in such a short time? They didn't know. Although the Shadowless family tried their best to cover it up, too many saints and experts had died. They couldn't hide from the investigation of so many large families and forces. So soon, the situation of the Shadowless family was figured out by those people. For a time, the wind and clouds surged. Tianhe family. It was also one of the large families of the Great Spill Planet. At this moment, in a great hall of the Tianhe family, the patriarch, elders, and many powerhouses were gathered together. Their eyes were filled with excitement and excitement. You should already know about the Shadowless family, Patriarch Tianhe said in a deep voice. Inside the hall, everyone was grinning from ear to ear. They knew, of course they knew. For some unknown reason, the Shadowless family had suffered a heavy blow and their vitality had been greatly damaged. Patriarch, this is a good opportunity for us to make a move. That's right, Patriarch. We have always been suppressed by the Shadowless family. Now we finally have a chance to make a move. We can directly trample the Shadowless family to the ground. This way, we can become the top family. From then on, our Tianhe family will become one of the overlords of the Great Spill Planet. The more everyone spoke, the more excited they became. Their eyes turned red. Patriarch Tianhe was calm. He said, although this is a good opportunity, we can't be too careless. After all, it wasn't just our family that had their eyes on the Shadowless family. In the entire Great Spill Planet, there were 3 top overlords. Besides the Shadowless family, there was also Flowing Fire Palace and Devouring Sky Hall. Apart from that, there were 5 first-rate forces like our Tianhe family. As for the clans below them, there was nothing to be afraid of. They couldn't benefit from this storm at all, and even if they did, it would be very little. Most importantly, the other 4 great clans and 2 other overlords. The other 4 families must be like us, wanting to take over the Shadowless clan and become the new overlord. But don't forget that the other 2 overlords are also eyeing the Shadowless clan. They also want to strengthen themselves. Therefore, don't act rashly. While the Tianhe clan was discussing their next course of action, the other 4 first-rate clans were also having an intense discussion. At the same time, the 2 overlord forces were also moving in the dark. The people of the Shadowless family were extremely nervous. Before they could recover from the shock caused by the loss of their clan's vitality, many other people appeared around them. There were even conflicts that broke out. For a moment, their situation became more and more dangerous. Patriarch, what should we do? The people of the Shadowless clan all looked at Hua Feiyu. At this moment, Hua Feiyu was their new patriarch, and she had the highest cultivation among them. This was because the other saints and elders had all been killed, either by Lin Xian or by the Shadowless ancestors' 8 demon god formation. It could be said that they were indeed much weaker than the Gu family. Of course, A starving camel was still bigger than a horse. The Shadowless clan still had some resources. Other than some dormant living fossils, they still had some formations and forbidden weapons that they hadn't used yet. At this moment, Hua Feiyu sat at the highest position, her expression extremely cold. She didn't expect this. She had just become the patriarch, and now she was facing such a situation. Now, she had three choices in front of her. The first was to give up resistance and let the other clans take over the Shadowless clan. She would never agree to this even if she were to die. In that case, there was only one other option left, and that was to resist. However, with their current strength, they couldn't resist at all. The other experts, the other two overlords, were not any weaker than them. If they were at their peak, they could still resist. Now that their vitality was greatly damaged, they couldn't resist at all. Don't forget, there were still some first-rate clans eyeing them covetously. If they wanted to resist, there were two options. The first was to fully recover their resources and awaken all the dormant living fossils. This way, their current strength would be greatly improved. However, after they were awakened, she wouldn't be able to explain what had happened. She, Hua Feiyu, might be captured by these living fossils and tortured. Therefore, she only had one choice left, and that was to ask for help. She asked Lin Xian for help. Lin Xian had just supported her to become the patriarch of Hua Feiyu, so he wouldn't sit by and do nothing. However, she wasn't 100% sure. After all, this time, they weren't facing just one clan. They were probably the top forces in the entire Great Yin planet. Compared to these clans and sects, the Shadowless clan was much stronger. Would Lin Xian care? It was really an unknown. The atmosphere on the Great Yin planet was extremely strange. Basically, everyone knew that a great change had happened to the Shadowless clan. Their strength had been greatly damaged, and there would probably be a fight next. Those weaker clans and sects, although they couldn't make a move, they weren't idle either. First, they all moved to investigate the news. Moreover, many people were ready to watch a big show. Maybe if they were lucky, they could even reap the benefits. Heavens, what happened to the Shadowless clan? They actually suffered such heavy losses. Could it be that someone made a move against them? Impossible. If it was a battle between top overlords, it would definitely alarm everyone. We didn't receive any news before, so it should be a sudden attack. Could it be that some peerless powerhouse made a move and swept away the Shadowless clan? It couldn't be. The Shadowless clan was an overlord existence. What kind of person could sweep them away? Could it be one of those legendary existences? Everyone was discussing, guessing what the reason was. At the same time, the Tianhe clan and other first-rate clans couldn't help but begin to probe. A great war broke out in the Shadowless clan. Even the first-rate clans began to fight for territory. The flames of war were burning. Everyone's blood was boiling. They knew that this battle wouldn't end so easily. However, to their surprise, after only a few days, the battle stopped. Because the other two overlords had made a move. There were a total of 3 overlords on the Great Yin planet. The Shadowless clan was originally one of them, but now their vitality was greatly damaged. Therefore, the other 2 overlords reigned supreme. Chapter 3466. At this moment, the other 2 overlords attacked together. No one dared to resist. They thought that they had no hope. However, to everyone's surprise, the other 2 overlords didn't attack the Shadowless clan directly. Instead, they released a message. Half a month later, the Shadowless meeting would be held to discuss this matter. The world was in an uproar when the news came out. They originally thought that the 2 overlords would directly attack and divide the Shadowless clan. However, that wasn't the case. Instead, they were going to hold a Shadowless meeting. What was going on? No one could understand. However, the Tianhe clan and the other 4 first-rate clans were ecstatic. They knew that only the 5 first-rate clans and the 2 overlords would hold this meeting. It seemed that they were going to divide the Shadowless clan among themselves. Although they were also surprised by this move, they couldn't care less about it anymore. As long as they could strengthen their clans, they had to participate in this meeting. Patriarch, this is bad. The Shadowless clan. The warriors of the Shadowless clan had ugly faces. In half a month, would their Shadowless clan be swallowed up? Hua Feiyu's expression was also extremely solemn. She knew that there was no other way. She could only ask Lin Xian for help. Therefore, she took out the formation disc that Lin Xian had left behind and sent a message. The Gu clan. At this moment, there was also an uproar. Because the things that had happened recently were too shocking. They didn't expect that the mountain in their hearts would collapse like this. Now, it was facing the danger of being destroyed. In a secret chamber of the Gu clan, Lin Xian opened his eyes. The black flames in his eyes quickly disappeared. These days, he had been studying Yama's fire. Yama's fire was the fire of hell. Its power was extremely terrifying. His heavenly secret divine eye was related to the Rinnegan. Therefore, he could control Yama's fire. Lin Xian still couldn't release too much Yama's fire. Otherwise, it would be a great burden to his eyes. However, he could already control it stably. In other words, it could be used as a trump card. Currently, he could use Yama's fire to burn a third heaven saint. In the future, as he gained more control, he could even burn a fourth or fifth heaven saint. Thinking of this, he was very satisfied. This time, it was definitely a great harvest. Kid, the Shadowless clan has news for you. Heishan said. Lin Xian turned his head and looked at the disc array that was placed to the side. Was there some movement already? Could it be that some living fossil had come back to life? Lin Xian had stayed behind to consolidate his strength. Furthermore, he wanted to take a look at the Shadowless tribe and see if there were any other abnormalities. Who would have thought that his wait would come true? He took out a disc array and sent out a message. There was an anxious voice inside. Young master, this is bad. My Shadowless clan is in danger of being exterminated. Please save us. The danger of extermination? Lin Xian was stunned. He had originally thought that Hua Feiyu's personal safety was in danger, such as being suppressed by some living fossil elder. That was why he asked for help. But now, it seemed like that wasn't the case. It was not Hua Feiyu's personal safety, but the safety of the entire Shadowless clan. What's going on? He thought about it for a moment and understood. It seemed that other clans and forces wanted to swallow up the Shadowless clan. Lin Xian had seen such things many times. He stood up and walked out. After going out and asking around, Lin Xian immediately sneered. As he had guessed, the entire Great Yin planet was surging with undercurrents. He had obtained more accurate information from Gu Santong. 2 overlords and 5 first-rate clans were going to convene a Shadowless meeting to discuss the fate of the Shadowless clan. Lin Xian snorted coldly in his heart. How dare they have designs on the Shadowless clan? Now that the Shadowless clan was already in Lin Xian's hands, how could he allow others to interfere? Shadowless meeting? Fine. He would see who dared to touch his things. Lin Xian thought in his heart and had an idea. Based on the current situation, the Shadowless clan definitely had some hidden resources, but they definitely couldn't use them. Moreover, Hua Feiyu was a smart woman. She didn't use her remaining resources, but asked him for help. It seemed that this time, he had to properly intimidate the other overlords and completely seal off their hidden resources. However, this wasn't enough. After all, too many saints had died in the Shadowless clan. Hua Feiyu alone wouldn't be able to support it. It seemed that he had to find someone for the Shadowless clan to rely on. Lin Xian wouldn't consider the other overlords, and he couldn't stay here for too long. Therefore, after much thought, he thought of Gu Santong and the Gu clan. It seemed that Gu Santong's clan had settled down here for the time being. Although they weren't a top-notch clan, they had remarkable abilities and methods. As long as they were given enough resources, they could rapidly grow. Therefore, Lin Xian decided to let Gu Santong's clan join forces with the Shadowless clan to form a new force. Gu Santong was his friend. This way, he could help Gu Santong and the resources he would obtain wouldn't be reduced. Moreover, it would be enough for the Shadowless clan to survive for a long time. Lin Xian gradually formed this plan in his heart, but all of this had to be arranged properly. Now, he had to make a trip to the Shadowless clan. He would first comfort Hua Feiyu. Then, Lin Xian set off for the Shadowless clan. The Shadowless clan was very uneasy. Hua Feiyu was even more anxious. However, when she saw Lin Xian arrive, she heaved a sigh of relief. She knew that there was still hope. Lin Xian told her not to worry and that everything would proceed as normal. When it was time for the Shadowless Conference, he would accompany her. After receiving Lin Xian's answer, Hua Feiyu completely calmed down. She began to strengthen the clan. Lin Xian once again came to the ancestral land. It had been reduced to ruins, but he still wanted to investigate. The Shadowless Ancestor's resurrection was too strange. However, after searching for a while, he didn't find anything. The Yama's fire had burned everything. Even if there were any traces, they would have been burned to nothing. It seemed that if he wanted to know the secret of the Shadowless Ancestor's resurrection, he would have to start with the Reincarnation Pearl or the Yama's fire. He didn't know either of these. It seemed that when he returned, he would use the information he had on the Langya star to investigate. Then, Lin Xian went back to find Gu Santong and the elders of the Gu family. He told them his plan. Gu Santong and the elders of the Gu family sucked in a breath of cold air as they stared at Lin Xian in shock. Lin Gongzi, did you really do this to the Shadowless clan? They were too shocked. They had guessed this before, but they quickly rejected it, because they felt that it wasn't very likely. However, looking at Lin Xian's plan now, it was very likely that Lin Xian was behind it. Chapter 3467. As expected, Lin Xian nodded. That's right, I did it. But I didn't expect the situation to change like this. Hua Feiyu's current strength is not enough to support the entire Shadowless clan. So I think it's better for the two clans to merge and create a new force together. This way, we can continue to maintain our position as the overlord. Why are you helping the Gu clan? The elders of the Gu clan were bewildered. You don't have to worry too much. Firstly, Santong is my good friend. I'll naturally find a way to help him. Secondly, you know that the resources needed to reach the Sage Realm are huge. So I need a top clan to provide me with resources. When the time comes, I'll only need to take my share. The Gu clan can develop on its own. Hearing this, the elders of the Gu clan's eyes lit up. Lin Xian was right. This was indeed a good opportunity. Given the relationship between young Master Santong and Lin Xian would not cheat them. In this way, they could gain a firm foothold. It would be convenient for young Master Santong to step on the ancient road of the stars again. All right, let's take a gamble. The elders of the Gu clan's eyes lit up. Gu Santong also said, Brother Lin, thank you so much this time. Lin Xian smiled. Brother Gu, don't be so courteous with me. Let's drink. Since the plan had been made, they just had to wait for the meeting to start. The following days were quite leisurely. Soon, half a month passed. The Shadowless meeting was also starting today. The meeting was held at the Thunder Mountain Ancient Land. It was an ancient land. The aura here was very unusual. At this moment, many people had gathered at the Thunder Mountain Ancient Land. The two overlords, the 5 first-rate clans, and the other martial artists were all outside, watching. They could not enter the depths of the ancient land. In the sky, a few spiritual boats rushed over and shuttled through the sky. Soon, they arrived near the Thunder Mountain Ancient Land. Then, the spiritual boats all stopped. From inside, figures walked down one after another. Their expressions were solemn as they quickly descended from the sky. They were from the Shadowless clan. The martial artists outside exclaimed in shock. They were originally here to watch the show. Now that they saw the Shadowless clan, they were instantly interested. The Shadowless clan really dared to come. That's right, he was too reckless. Hee, if I were the patriarch of the Shadowless family, I would have given up long ago to seek survival. Don't worry, even if they came, it would be useless. They would definitely be wiped out this time. Even if they didn't die, their forces and territories would definitely be annexed. Many of them were from big clans, even though they weren't qualified to enter the Thunder Mountain Ancient Land. However, they were all famous and domineering figures. In fact, several clans had already received orders to humiliate the Shadowless clan before the Shadowless clan entered the Thunder Mountain Ancient Land. He wanted to give them a show of strength. These people were from the Shadowless clan. Hua Feiyu had brought the remaining elite materials over. Even though they were elites, they were still lacking compared to before. Luckily, Hua Feiyu was still confident this time because Lin Xian was here. Not only had Lin Xian come, Gu Santong had also brought along the elites of the Gu clan. Young Master, After landing, Hua Feiyu looked at Lin Xian, as if seeking his opinion. Lin Xian said lightly, "Next, you can make your own decisions. You don't have to ask me about everything. Remember, you are now the patriarch of the Shadowless clan. Bring out your previous aura. Also, let me tell you a bottom line. You are not allowed to give them a share, nor are you allowed to annex them. Know this bottom line, you can do whatever you want. If anything happens, I will take responsibility for you." As soon as these words came out, Hua Feiyu regained her confidence. She took a deep breath and once again regained her cold demeanor of a queen. Originally, she was a high and mighty fairy and was very famous in the entire Great Yen Star. Therefore, at this moment, after she regained her aura, it really made the people around her tremble. Was the legendary cold and elegant little princess back again? But soon, they sneered. The current Shadowless clan was no longer the same, so they were not afraid at all. "Oh, isn't this Hua Feiyu, Princess Hua? Why did she come so late?" "Yes, shouldn't she have come early to ask for forgiveness?" Someone sneered. "Princess Hua, your Shadowless clan is about to be destroyed. Why don't you marry me?" "Don't worry, I can definitely save your life here." The surrounding people all laughed. These people were also experts, and they were here to cause trouble. They were here to show Hua Feiyu who was in charge. Acting recklessly. Slap them. Hua Feiyu's face darkened. Buzz. Someone beside her rushed forward like a ghost and instantly shrouded the front. "You dare to make a move? You are really reckless. Do you think your Shadowless clan is still the overlord now?" That person sneered and directly slapped down with his palm. The terrifying palm was like a mountain, carrying a powerful force, and directly blasted the person from the Shadowless clan away. That person spat out a mouthful of blood, and his face turned pale. Hua Feiyu's face changed, and the surrounding Shadowless clan members' faces also became incomparably ugly. The other martial artists, on the other hand, burst into laughter. So trash, so useless. Is this still the overlord of the past? It was really surprising. The overlord had fallen to such a state. What overlord? Now the Shadowless clan is struggling at death's door, even worse than us. Hua Feiyu, you are not qualified to enter here. If you want to enter, you have to kneel under my crotch. With that person spread his legs and laughed loudly. The others also sneered as they looked at this scene. If the current Shadowless clan was not even qualified to enter the Thunder Mountain ancient land, then they would not have any scruples. Damn it. Damn it. Those from the Shadowless clan were furious. If they were at their peak, these people would have to kneel down when they saw them. They would not dare to provoke them like this. Hua Feiyu's face also became incomparably ugly. To be honest, besides her, the most powerful person was only a sage to be. They could not deal with this situation at all, unless she took action herself. But she was the leader of her clan. Unless there was no other choice, she would not personally take action. For a moment, she was stunned. Lin Xian also did not take action. He did not care to take action against such insignificant people. This time, he was here to suppress the situation. He would only take action at the most critical moment. Therefore, he looked at a handsome man beside him. "Santong, it's up to you now." Gu Santong nodded, and a flash of light appeared in his eyes. He looked at a middle-aged man beside him. When the middle-aged man saw this scene, he directly walked out. Chapter 3468. How dare you block the way? You must be tired of living. As he spoke, a large palm appeared out of thin air in front of that person, and then it suddenly slammed down. There was a loud boom. The sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The void was directly blown apart, and that person was instantly smashed into a bloody mist. What? The surrounding people were all dumbfounded. There was actually another expert. They were all stunned. Who was it? Were there still other experts in the Shadowless clan? Could it be that Hua Feiyu had done it personally? One after another, gazes shot over like rainbows. Soon, they found that it was not. The one who attacked was not Hua Feiyu, but a man, a tall and burly man. The aura on his body was very strange. Although he was standing there, it was as if he did not exist and had merged into the void. Was that the Shadowless secret technique? They were stunned. Could it be that there were still experts in the Shadowless clan who survived? So what if there are more experts? I don't believe that you can pass today. A person walked out. This time, it was a saint with a very terrifying aura. He held a long spear and directly stabbed it over. It bloomed with an incomparable light. This person's strength was much more terrifying than the previous one. The middle-aged man from the Gu family also snorted coldly and stretched out his palm. The void fluctuated, and a large hand strangely appeared in the sky and directly grabbed the opponent's long spear. The two of them kept shaking in the sky, and the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The black long spear was very terrifying, more terrifying than a mountain. After that attack, the expressions of the saints of the same level would change. However, the gigantic hand of nothingness was even more bizarre. It directly guided the sound of la 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 into the void. It was swallowed up by countless dimensions. This was a true space mystic ability. It was absolutely exquisite. Therefore, the final result was not surprising at all. The person who attacked was killed again. He died again. Another expert was easily killed. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. Who was this person? When Hua Feiyu saw this scene, she also regained her confidence. She sneered. What, are you qualified to enter now? If you can beat me, you are qualified to enter. An old man walked out, and the others were also shocked. It was Green Lamp Saint. Obviously, this old man was a very famous saint. His name was Green Lamp. At this moment, he waved his hand, and a navy blue ancient lamp that flickered with a strange flame appeared in his hand. Hua Feiyu looked around, and the others nodded in agreement. That's right. As long as you can defeat Green Lamp Saint, you can enter. Very well. The middle-aged man from the Gu family strode forward. He was a powerhouse from the Gu family. At this moment, he was extremely domineering. He snatched the long spear from the previous person, and then took a big step forward, and suddenly, he suddenly disappeared. By the time he reappeared, he was already standing behind the Green Lamp Sage. The long spear in his hand pressed down like a mountain. Boom! The heavens and earth. What a strange technique. Green Lamp Saint's expression changed as well. He didn't even see how the man had appeared. How could he have known that these people were not from the Shadowless clan, but from the Gu clan? This was the spatial divine ability of the Gu clan. However, he was also very strong. So, although he was panicking, he was not too afraid. He waved his hand, and the green ancient lamp in his hand danced. Suddenly, the surrounding wind howled, and countless ghostly shadows swayed. It shrouded him. The aura of the entire space changed. Under the influence of the green lamp, it seemed to have become very strange. The surrounding people also kept retreating, and there was a cold smile in their eyes. The faces of the people from the Gu family changed. Lin Xian also narrowed his eyes. Hua Feiyu said, Young master, Green Lamp Saint is not ordinary. Legend has it that this lamp of his has an extraordinary origin. Lin Xian nodded slightly. He also saw a huge monster appearing in the countless gusts of wind. It was a demonic beast with only a single green eye. As it moved, it brought with it countless gusts of wind, and it made people's hair stand. Gu Sanong said, Brother Lin, don't worry. The saint of our Gu family can handle it. Indeed. The middle-aged man from the Gu family snorted coldly. Then, he struck out a huge crack in the space and charged forward. It was as if he was going to devour the monster. The monster roared angrily and retaliated. The green claws reached out, and everyone's hair stood on end. They realized that the green claws were covered with green hair, and it looked very terrifying. What kind of demonic beast is this? Why haven't I heard of it before? The battle between the two was very terrifying. Countless people retreated frantically. The Cyan claws were truly too bizarre. Each strike was like a vast ocean wave. Furthermore, terrifying roars could be heard from the claws. In an instant, the middle-aged man from the Gu family was surrounded. The surrounding people sneered. That guy is dead meat. Yes, surrounded by the demonic beasts summoned by Green Lamp Saint, he wouldn't be able to escape even if he had 10 lives. Attack him. He's overestimating himself. Green Lamp Saint also revealed a disdainful smile. However, in the next moment, his body trembled, and he was sent flying. A figure appeared behind him. A single move landed on his body and sent him flying. How is this possible? The surrounding people were all stunned when they saw this scene. Wasn't that guy devoured by the demonic beasts? How did he appear behind Green Lamp Saint? Damn it, what's wrong with you? Green Lamp Saint was also shocked. The palm strike had smashed half of his body. He turned his head and looked at the scene in disbelief. "You're not from the Shadowless family?" he asked with a frown. The middle-aged man from the Gu family snorted coldly. "You don't need to know that. Do you want to continue fighting?" Hua Feiyu also walked out and asked in a deep voice. She could tell that the Gu family's divine ability was too powerful. No wonder their family was so determined to form a marriage alliance. And they even obtained this spatial divine ability. The Shadowless family was one of the 3 overlords. They had a lot of saints, and they even had a grand ancestor. Otherwise, other families wouldn't have dared to have designs on the Gu family. Although the Shadowless family was expelled, their strength was still very terrifying. "All right, you're qualified to enter." Green Lamp Saint didn't continue to attack. Instead, he swayed gently. The green lamp in his hand disappeared, and so did the terrifying demonic beast. The terrifying phenomenon of heaven and earth in the surroundings quickly disappeared. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. At the same time, they were extremely shocked. It was hard to believe that the Shadowless family still had such strength. Previously, they had investigated and found that the Shadowless family had suffered serious injuries. In other words, they were very weak. Chapter 3469. They even speculated that the other party might not even be able to get through the door. Of course, they would not let the other party enter. They would just torture and humiliate the other party to show their strength. But now, they found that they were wrong. Such a huge overlord, even if weakened, was not someone they could provoke. It was better to let the other 2 overlords and the 5 first-rate clans fight against them. They might be able to reap the benefits from outside. Everyone retreated. Hua Feiyu led the crowd and walked in aggressively. However, their mood was even more solemn, because they knew that those outside were just small fries. Inside the Thunder Mountain ancient land, there was a terrifying existence. They would be facing the other 2 overlords and the 5 first-rate clans. At that time, if they were weak, they would be devoured without leaving any bones behind. Thunder Mountain ancient land. At this moment, the 2 overlords were sitting in the north and south, Liuhua Palace and Devouring Sky Palace. The remaining 5 first-rate clans were standing in the east and west. Although they were weaker than the 2 overlords, their strength was still very terrifying. When the 5 first-rate clans were together, even the 2 overlords had to treat them seriously. At this moment, they were all talking and laughing because they knew that the Shadowless clan had arrived. And they were just outside, but they were blocked. An elder of the Tianhe clan said with a smile, wondering when the Shadowless clan would arrive. One of the people from the 4 Directions pavilion sneered. They were already here. They were outside, but they were blocked by someone. They would probably be tortured. Those people outside would not be merciful. Who would have thought that a dignified overlord would be reduced to such a state? He could not even enter the Thunder Mountain ancient land. Then, there is no need for us to hold back. Everyone laughed. In their opinion, the Shadowless clan was already in their pocket. Next, how would they distribute it? The Shadowless clan had arrived. At this moment, a loud and clear voice came from outside. "Oh, they're here? So fast." The experts of the top clans in the Thunder Mountain ancient land were stunned. They did not expect the Shadowless clan to come in so quickly. It was really beyond their expectations. Sure enough, in the next moment, they saw a team coming from afar. Soon, they arrived at the ancient land of the Thunder Mountains. At that instant, the people of the 2 dominators and the 5 first-rate clans all glanced forward. Only the members of the Shadowless clan sneered. Although the number of people who came was not small, there were only a few who had the strength to enter their eyes. It seemed that the Shadowless clan had truly declined. Since they were able to enter, they must have some strength, but there was nothing to be afraid of. So it's a fellow Taoist from the Shadowless race. We've been waiting for you for a long time. Come, take a seat. An elder of the devouring sky hall chuckled as he sat there. Hua Feiyu frowned. Gu Santong and Lin Xian also narrowed their eyes. Where should he sit? The place in the valley had already been divided up by the 5 great families. There was no place left for them at all. In other words, the other party had never intended to invite them to take a seat. Saying such words now was purely to provoke and humiliate them. Hua Feiyu's face turned pale in an instant. She clenched her fists and trembled in anger. Damn it, if their clan was at its peak, these people would definitely not have dared to treat them with such an attitude. At this moment, Lin Xian, who was beside her, said indifferently, "There's nothing to be angry about. Who did the Shadowless clan not get along with, and who wanted to swallow you up the most?" She walked directly in his direction. Since there were no seats, she would fight for one. As soon as she heard this, Hua Feiyu's body trembled. Then, a look of determination appeared in her eyes. She took a deep breath and looked in one direction. That direction was the Tianhe clan. Previously, the Shadowless clan and the Tianhe clan had a conflict. 2 days ago, the Tianhe clan was the first to act. Moreover, the conflict was the most intense. So now, she had to find a clan to attack. Then, she chose the Tianhe clan. Hua Feiyu took the lead and led the group forward. The people around them all had mocking expressions on their faces. Suddenly, they were stunned. They did not expect Hua Feiyu to really dare to move. Instantly, their expressions became even more interesting. They all wanted to see who the Shadowless clan would choose. No matter who they chose, it would be the same. They would be courting death. Oh, it was the Tianhe clan. The 2 overlords and the people of the 5 first-rate clans were all stunned. The faces of the people of the Tianhe clan darkened. Damn it, she actually dared to choose their direction. Was she looking down on the Tianhe clan? Tianhe clan, give up this place. Hua Feiyu sneered. The people of the Tianhe clan were so angry that they vomited blood. They were actually being looked down on. One of the elders snorted coldly. You want us to give up this place? Sorry, this place is ours. You'd better find another place. The people of the Tianhe clan sat there and sneered. They had no intention of leaving. What? You won't give up? Then don't blame us for using some tricks. Hua Feiyu's face darkened. The people of the Tianhe clan laughed out loud. Using tricks? What tricks do you dare to use? The Shadowless clan is really reckless. Do you really think you're still an overlord? You want us to give up our seats? Sure, show us your strength. If you can beat us, we'll give it to you. Otherwise, you can just stand there obediently. The others also laughed. This was the scene they wanted. They could only ruthlessly suppress the Shadowless clan and completely shatter their last bit of confidence. Then, the next division would be much smoother. It seemed that they could only fight. Hua Feiyu's figure took a breath. She sent out a few experts of the Shadowless clan, but they were quickly beaten back. An elder of the Tianhe clan laughed out loud. Your Shadowless clan is really trash. Is there no one else? The others also shook their heads. It was really disappointing. They really didn't know how these people came in previously. Could it be that those people outside went easy on them? At this moment, a voice sounded. I'm here. The middle-aged man of the Gu clan who attacked previously walked out again. The moment he attacked, he defeated an elder of the Tianhe clan. This caused countless people to exclaim in surprise. Who was this person? Their gazes were fixed on that figure. At this moment, another expert of the Tianhe clan made a move. However, he was still defeated. This scene was enough to move people. Was there such a terrifying saint in the Shadowless clan? However, at this moment, an expert of the Devourer Palace frowned. You're not from the Shadowless clan. What you're using is not a useless clan's ability. Who are you? Chapter 3470. As soon as these words came out, everyone's expression changed. It wasn't someone from the Shadowless family. Damn it. Did the Shadowless family ally with other forces? Who was it? Which force dared to ally with them? One had to know that in the entire Great Yin planet, they represented the peak forces. The other families and sects didn't dare to play tricks in front of them. But now, a mysterious powerhouse had appeared. Could it be a powerhouse from another world? At this time, a sage from the Liyue Palace also spoke. Spatial magic, if I'm not wrong, what you used was a spatial magic, right? What? The powerhouses of the Thunder Mountain ancient land all burst into an uproar. Their eyes were wide open. Spatial magic. It was actually a spatial magic. That was a more terrifying magic than the Shadowless family's secret technique. Moreover, it could make countless people jealous. Since ancient times, there had been legends of space being king. Therefore, those who mastered space were the kings of their peers. They could even fight those who were stronger than them without a problem. They didn't expect that there would be someone who could master a spatial magic now. Who was this person? They were all guessing. At this time, the sage from the Liyue Palace spoke again. I heard that an amazing family came to our great Yin planet. It's a lineage of the remote antiquity family. It should be you, right? Gu family. What? Gu family. Remote antiquity family. Those people sucked in a breath of cold air. Although they were also overlords, compared to the Gu family, the difference was too great. The remote antiquity family had produced a great emperor. How terrifying was that background? It wasn't something they could imagine at all. Damn it, when did the Shadowless family ally with the remote antiquity family? They couldn't believe it. One had to know that although the Shadowless family was the royal family of the remote antiquity family, it shouldn't be able to enter the eyes of the remote antiquity family. After all, the remote antiquity family was an emperor family. Only the royal family of the ancient 10,000 races could be compared to them. Therefore, they couldn't understand why such a scene would appear. But at this time, the sage from the Liyue Palace spoke again. Everyone, don't worry. Although they are indeed from the remote antiquity family, as far as I know, their lineage was driven out. So, there's nothing to be afraid of. What? Driven out? They were stunned for a moment before they heaved a sigh of relief. So that was it. The real clan of the ancients disdained to join hands with the Shadowless clan. But if it was someone who had been chased out, then it was a different story. When they thought of this, they sneered again. Amongst them, someone from the Tianhe clan snorted coldly. Hua Feiyu, you're too unruly. We didn't invite the Gu clan to this Shadowless convention. You actually dared to bring them in without permission. Do you believe that I won't suppress you right now? That's not right. Who doesn't know that I'm already married to the Gu family? Therefore, my Shadowless clan and the Gu clan naturally joined forces and became one family. Why can't I bring the Gu clan here? As soon as these words were said, everyone frowned. They had indeed heard of such news, but they did not pay too much attention to it before. Now, they did not expect it to become a problem. Humph! Someone sneered. No matter. He was just a mere abandoned disciple of the Gu clan. There was no need to put him in his eyes. The person who spoke was a member of the Black Wolf race. They were also a royal race of the 10,000 ancient races. However, they didn't show any mercy to the Shadowless family. Instead, they stood up and said loudly, "This Shadowless convention should be to discuss how to divide the Shadowless family. I don't think there's a need to talk nonsense. Let's discuss it directly. Of the 7 clans, the 2 overlords will take the majority. The remaining 5 clans will divide and completely eliminate the Shadowless family. What do you all think?" Sure. Those clans nodded. At this moment, an expert from the Devouring Sky Palace said, "We don't want the Shadowless clan's territory and resources. We only want one thing. We only want the ancestral land of the Shadowless clan." As soon as these words were said, everyone was stunned. They didn't expect the Devouring Sky Palace to only want the ancestral land. They thought that there must be some secret there. However, they couldn't care less about that. With a few simple words, the 5 clans were divided. Hua Feiyu and the rest of the Shadowless clan were so angry that they trembled all over. At this moment, Hua Feiyu recalled what Lin Xian had told her. He would not give up any benefits, nor would he cede any land. Therefore, she sneered. Who dares to take the Shadowless clan's things? Aren't you afraid that you won't be able to take it? Hua Feiyu, you think too highly of yourself. Do you think you can show off just because you brought these people? The Gu clan is powerful, but we don't take them seriously. The people of the Black Wolf clan stood out. He stared at the middle-aged man and said coldly, "You're from the Gu clan?" I'd like to see how magical the Gu clan's remarkable powers are. The expert from the Black Wolf clan who stepped forward was also a middle-aged man. He had black hair growing on his body. He walked upright, but his wolf head was shining with a terrifying killing intent. The next moment, he instantly attacked. His black claws were like mountains, full of killing intent, and rushed directly toward the middle-aged man from the Gu clan. This attack, it could shatter millions of miles of the starry sky. Humph! The middle-aged man sneered. His figure flashed and tore open the void. He disappeared in an instant. The terrifying palm shattered the void, but it didn't hurt him at all. The next moment, he appeared beside the middle-aged man and pointed at the void. With a terrifying aura, he passed through the void like a meteor. Get lost! The Black Wolf clan expert roared and quickly counterattacked. His palm hit the void, making a sonorous sound. Countless voids were shattered again. The Black Wolf clan expert was forced back, and his palm was pierced with a bloody hole. Go to hell! He roared, and the surrounding mountains shook. Everyone else was shocked. It seemed that he was really angry. As expected, the saint of the Black Wolf clan displayed an extremely terrifying remarkable powers. He relied on his powerful physique and unparalleled speed to fight directly. However, the man from the Gu clan was not to be trifled with. He appeared and disappeared mysteriously, constantly jumping through the void and dodging all the attacks. The battle between the two was extremely terrifying. In the end, the man from the Gu clan won and directly banished the Black Wolf clan into the void. This scene shocked everyone. Banishing into the void, what kind of method was that? One had to know that the Black Wolf clan was also a terrifying saint. It wouldn't be a problem for them to come out of the void. But now, the other party didn't come out. This meant that that person had been banished to an extremely terrifying starry sky. Who else was not convinced? The middle-aged man looked around disdainfully. Chapter 3471. Now, it was no longer just a matter of the Shadowless clan, but also the rise of the Gu clan. Therefore, he would not hold back. Next, the people of the Tianhe clan and the 4 pavilions attacked one after another. But in the end, they were all swallowed by space, and their whereabouts were unknown. This scene made the people of the Gu clan laugh. The people of the Shadowless clan were also excited. Great, there was finally hope on their side. However, the people of the 5 great clans frowned. Damn it, how could this person from the Gu clan be so strong? Don't panic, he should be the strongest one this time. Defeating him should not be a problem. Hee, in that case, let me do it. A person from the 10,000 Snake Valley walked out. He was also an expert from the 5 great clans, but when he stepped out, he did not immediately attack. Instead, he looked in all directions. This was a strong enemy, and he had defeated many experts. If I can defeat him, then when the Shadowless clan's benefits are distributed, the 10,000 Snake Valley will get a bigger share. When these words came out, the expressions of the other 4 great clans changed, but the 2 overlords nodded. Good. Then many thanks to the 2 overlords. The expert from the 10,000 Snake Valley laughed. The faces of the other great clans were gloomy, but there was nothing they could do, because the other party's space ability was really too terrifying. It came and went like a ghost, and they were not a match at all. They did not know what this old man from the 10,000 Snake Valley had to be so confident. Could it be that he could block the space ability? Would Third Uncle have a problem? Gu Santong's eyes flickered, and he was a little worried. Because the other party was too confident. Hua Feiyu became nervous, and Lin Xian also narrowed his eyes. A second heaven sage? No wonder he was so confident. Although the middle-aged man from the Gu clan was powerful, he was only a first heaven sage. The difference in cultivation between the two sides was a little too big. Would he be able to win? Lin Xian thought in his heart, but he did not care too much. Because he knew that the final trump card was not the Gu clan's third uncle, but him. He was the biggest trump card. The Gu clan's third uncle felt the terrifying aura from the other party, as well as the terrifying Tao patterns between heaven and earth. He was also incomparably fierce. His entire being had completely merged with the void. Haha, it's useless. My cultivation level is 1 heaven above yours. You're not my match at all. Although your spatial divine ability is very terrifying, it can't do anything to me." The sage of the 10,000 Snake Valley was very confident. On the other side, the third uncle of the Goof family had already made his move. The void finger brought with it an extremely strange aura. It merged into the void and charged over quickly. The 10,000 Snake Valley Saint sneered. At the same time, the lower half of his body turned into a snake's tail, which swept out. There were countless Tao runes on it that could pierce through the void. Boom, boom. Another earth-shattering battle erupted, causing everyone's hearts to beat wildly. Heavens, are they from the remote antiquity families? It was too scary. A first heaven sage was actually able to contend with a second heaven sage. The surrounding people were all stunned. One had to know that the gap between the sage level was extremely huge. A second heaven sage could easily crush a first heaven sage. But now, this saint of the Gu family was actually able to fight against those of a higher level. This was truly beyond everyone's expectations, as expected of a spatial divine ability. If it weren't for those spatial techniques, this Gu family member would have been defeated long ago. Many people were discussing it. Their expressions were extremely solemn. It was indeed so. This elder of the 10,000 Snake Valley was a second heaven sage. A casual attack was extremely terrifying. However, the countless black holes and large cracks in the sky were able to devour these attacks. Great Void Exile. After 100 moves, the third uncle of the Gu family suddenly roared and activated his bloodline power. He tore with both hands, and an extremely terrifying spatial crack appeared. In an instant, it swallowed the sage of the 10,000 Snake Valley. Up above, the large spatial crack slowly disappeared. Everyone was stunned. Heavens, were the saints of the second heaven banished as well? They couldn't believe it, especially those from the 10,000 Snake Valley. Their expressions were extremely ugly. Damn it, how did this happen? They roared. Boom. At this moment, the void shattered, and a figure escaped. It was the elder of the 10,000 Snake Valley. Great, he's out. The surrounding people heaved a sigh of relief. On the other hand, those from the Gu family revealed extremely solemn expressions. The same went for the third uncle of the Gu family. He frowned. Did he escape? The difference in cultivation realm is indeed too great. However, he wasn't afraid. Do you still want to fight? If I can exile you once, I can do it a second time, a third time, until I don't have the strength to return. The third uncle of the Gu family was extremely domineering. Hearing this, the sage of the 10,000 Snake Valley had an extremely ugly expression. Damn it, this is infuriating. There had never been a first heaven sage who was so arrogant in front of them. However, the other party's methods had indeed frightened him. If it weren't for his powerful cultivation, he really wouldn't have been able to return. Therefore, for a moment, he hesitated and didn't immediately make a move. All right, you guys from the 10,000 Snake Valley, back off. I'll do it myself. At this moment, a sage of the Devouring Sky Palace stood up. He was also a second heaven sage. However, his strength was slightly stronger than the sage of the 10,000 Snake Valley. Seeing this, the 10,000 Snake Valley's sage retreated. The other first-rate families all sucked in a breath of cold air. Is the Devouring Sky Palace going to do it themselves? The faces of the Gu family and the Shadowless family changed. The Devouring Sky Palace was the top family. This time, they would definitely be even more terrifying. The sage of the Devouring Sky Palace walked out and looked at the third uncle of the Gu family. The four families of the ancients aren't bad. You're very strong. However, your cultivation is too low. You're no match for me. I'll give you a chance. Take your Gu family members and leave immediately. I can let bygones be bygones. This matter has nothing to do with you. If you continue to tangle with the Shadowless family, don't blame the Devouring Sky Palace for being impolite. I'll wipe out your entire family. At this point, an extremely terrifying killing intent was emitted from his body. The 9 heavens and 10 earths were shaking. The people around felt their scalps go numb. It was too terrifying. They knew that if the Gu family didn't know what was good for them, they would really be finished. Humph. The third uncle of the Gu family snorted coldly. His figure was tall and straight. His body flickered as if he didn't exist. However, his eyes shone with unparalleled brilliance. As a saint of a clan of the ancients, he had never backed down. Why? Do you want to continue fighting with me? You don't know what's good for you. Since that's the case, I can't let you live. The sage of the devouring sky palace had an extremely terrifying killing intent in his eyes. He stretched out a hand and grabbed forward. His palm was extremely black and instantly turned into a black hole. The black Tao runes within it were extremely terrifying. It made people's scalps go numb. Chapter 3472. Everyone shrunk their necks in fear and retreated far away. Hua Feiyu and the rest also kept retreating. Gu Clan's third uncle was also on high alert. The opponent was too strong. He was even stronger than the sage from Thousand Snake Valley. The sage from Thousand Snake Valley was at the early stage of the second heaven. However, the one who attacked was at the middle stage of the second heaven. However, he would not retreat. He roared. He immediately used his most terrifying divine ability, Great Void Banishment. The terrifying Great Void was right in front of him. It's useless. You can't banish me. The sage from Devouring Sky Palace was very strong. More black holes appeared on his body. They could devour everything. As expected, the power of space collided with the black holes. Everyone exclaimed. He blocked it? Not good. The expressions of the people from the Gu clan also changed. A single person could defeat 10 people with brute force. Although their divine abilities were powerful, especially spatial techniques, and could defeat enemies stronger than them, there was still a limit to it. They could not surpass their level indefinitely. Clearly, the devouring sky saint in front of them had exceeded Gu clan's third uncle's fighting range. Therefore, he could not banish him at all. Everything was over. The devouring sky palace saint's lips curled into a cold smile. His body suddenly turned into a black hole. Then, he disappeared into the void. In the next moment, he appeared out of thin air. The pitch-black vortex enveloped Gu clan's third uncle. Gu clan's third uncle completely merged into the void and used his spatial divine ability to escape. However, his strength was suppressed. This black vortex was too terrifying. It covered the 9 heavens and 10 lands. It forcefully shook Gu clan's third uncle out of the void. Gu clan's third uncle's body swayed, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. He was pressed to the ground by the black vortex and could not move. I've given you a chance. However, you did not cherish it. Don't blame me for being merciless. A terrifying sound came from the black vortex. The vortex seemed to have turned into a black vortex. It spun continuously and wanted to cut the Gu clan sage in half. Not good. Gu Santong's face changed. The Gu clan's elders also instantly attacked, wanting to save Gu clan's third uncle. 2 great void palms and void fingers appeared out of thin air and attacked the black vortex. The black vortex not only completely swallowed the 3 attacks, but it also forced the 3 elders back. The 3 elders vomited blood. On the other hand, the sage of Devouring Sky Hall burst out laughing. What clan of the ancients? They were nothing in front of absolute power. Today, all of you will die. His killing intent swept across the 9 heavens and 10 earths. It's over. The faces of the Gu family members turned extremely ugly. The members of the Shadowless clan were also filled with despair. Was today really the day they died? In the surroundings, the people of the 2 great dominators and the 5 great clans smirked coldly. As expected, although the Gu family was powerful, they were unable to resist in the face of absolute power. Today, the Shadowless clan would be destroyed without a doubt. Sigh. Right at this critical moment, a sigh was heard. Then, a golden palm reached out. The void trembled. The golden palm was like a sun, shining brightly as it lashed out at the black vortex. The black vortex was sent flying. With a boom, the world in all directions was shattered. The terrifying power made everyone tense up and almost kneel on the ground. The surrounding people were scared silly. What did they see? The saint of the Devouring Heaven shop was sent flying by someone? Heavens, Who is it? Who can fight against the Saint of Devouring Sky Hall? Does the Gu family have any other experts? At this moment, they were all going crazy. Countless screams were heard as everyone looked forward. In the next moment, they were stunned. They saw a young man walk out from beside Hua Feiyu. His body was shining brightly. The golden palm was sent out by him. Is he also from the Gu family? He's too young. They were stunned. The people of Devouring Sky Hall also frowned, looking very unhappy. The heaven-devouring saint roared in the sky. He materialized from the black vortex and stared ahead with a pair of cold eyes. How dare you hurt me? Go to hell. The murderous aura on his body was too terrifying. It turned into 81 black holes and swept forward. Not good. Hua Feiyu, Gu Santong, and the others' faces completely changed. Lin Xian said, "All of you, step back." As he said that, he took a step forward. Light shone brightly as he activated his divine body, making him look like a peerless god of war. With a roar, the 9 heavens and 10 lands shook. The 2 golden palms continued to expand until they covered the entire sky. They shrouded all 81 black vortexes. Then, he clenched his fist. Crack, 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 crack. Countless cracks appeared in the void. They were caused by the absolute power. The 81 black holes were also shattered by this power. Who is this person? This power was too frightening. The surrounding people were all dumbfounded. How terrifying is this? The Saint of Devouring Sky Hall's face also changed. He seemed to have met a peerless enemy. In the next moment, his pupils suddenly shrank to the size of needles. This was because he saw a golden figure of a war god rushing towards him. In an instant, it tore through countless voids and arrived in front of him. At the same time, a golden fist came crashing down on him. It was like a golden dragon. Saint Devouring Sky Hall roared and reached out with his 2 large palms. They turned into 2 black holes and grabbed forward, trying to devour the golden fist. However, in an instant, he screamed in pain. His 2 black vortexes were shattered, and his palms exploded. Blood instantly dyed the sky red. His entire body was sent flying backward, and many cracks appeared on his body. The one who attacked was naturally Lin Xian. He waved his hand and followed up with another attack. He stomped his foot and swept out with his right leg. It was like a sharp knife that ruthlessly lashed out at his opponent's body. He kicked his opponent away. With a boom, the mountain range in the distance collapsed, and countless large cracks spread out. A crazy roar sounded. A figure rushed out of the ruins in front of him. It was Saint Devouring Sky. He reached out with both hands, grabbed the 2 mountain peaks beside him, pulled them up, and swung them at Lin Xian. The 2 mountain peaks were tens of thousands of feet tall. At this moment, they were used as weapons and danced in the sky. In the face of such a powerful attack, Lin Xian did not dodge at all. He charged forward. He pierced through the 2 mountains and arrived in front of his opponent. He stomped his opponent to the ground again. Boom, boom, boom. The entire ancient land of Thunder Mountain was shaking. Countless storms were surging. Everyone was scared out of their wits. As for the people of Devouring Sky Hall, their expressions changed drastically. They all rose into the air and stared into the distance. In the sky, countless large black holes were bobbing up and down, swallowing everything. Then, the scene in front of them appeared. In the next moment, they gasped. The other first-rate families were also stunned. Even the Gu family and the Shadowless family were dumbfounded. Saint Devouring Sky was being trampled under someone's foot. Chapter 3473. That person was valiant, like a peerless god of war. This is the young man beside Hua Feiyu. They finally recognized him. When Hua Feiyu came, there were 2 young men standing beside him. One was Gu Santong, and they did not know who the other was. But thinking about it, it should be someone from the Shadowless clan. He should be a prodigy. But they did not take him seriously at all. Even Hua Feiyu, the clan leader, was not worthy of their attention, let alone others. Therefore, they took the initiative to ignore Lin Xian. But now, it seemed that they were completely wrong. The most powerful one was not the Gu clan's third uncle, but the young man in front of them. The other party's power was too terrifying. It swept through everything, and even a saint in the middle of the second heaven could not withstand it. What kind of physique was this, and who was this person? For a moment, they were extremely shocked. Who are you? Who exactly are you? The devouring heaven sage was being stepped on, and he roared madly. Even now, he still couldn't believe that he had been defeated by someone. Why, do you still want to know who I am? If you beat me, I'll tell you. As Lin Xian said, he exerted force with his foot again. He stepped on the other party's bones, making creaking sounds. Damn kid, let him go. The experts of the devouring heaven palace roared madly. They really could not imagine that their saint would be defeated by the other party. And now, he was being stepped on. This was a slap to their faces. Let him go? Let him go just because you said so? Lin Xian snorted coldly and directly flicked out 3 dragon-shaped sword chi. One pierced the other party's heart, one pierced the other party's head, and the last one pierced the other party's abdomen. Then the 5 elemental laws turned into divine chains, hanging the other party in midair. Damn it, how dare you? Seeing this scene, the people of the devouring heaven palace were furious. The others were also so scared that their scalps went numb. Who was this person? His methods were so decisive. He was going against the devouring heaven palace. Why, are you very angry? Are you very sullen? Do you want to kill me? That's right. Remember this feeling. When you were here, talking about dividing up the Shadowless clan, did you think about their feelings? I can tell you that their feelings are the same as yours. Now, do you understand? Damn brat, who the hell are you? You actually want to stand up for the Shadowless family? Stand up for the Wing clan? Lin Xian smiled. You're wrong. I'm not standing up for the Shadowless family, but protecting what belongs to me. The Shadowless clan is mine. I won't allow anyone to touch it. What? Hearing this, everyone was stunned. The Shadowless clan belonged to the other party? Damn it, could it be that the other party had also swallowed up the Shadowless clan? Which power do you belong to? This time around, it was not only the people from the sky-devouring palace that spoke. The people from the Liuhua palace also spoke out. They could not tolerate the Shadowless family falling into the hands of the other party. The people from the 5 first-rate clans also became nervous. Lin Xian ignored them and said coldly, I'll give you all a chance to scram and disappear from my sight. I can spare your lives. Otherwise, if you dare to have any ideas about the Shadowless clan again, I'll slaughter all of you. Brat, you're too reckless. Do you think you can swallow the entire Shadowless clan by yourself? You're really courting death. Have you asked the 2 overlords and the 5 first-rate clans? The people from the sky-devouring palace looked cold. It was no longer a matter of slapping their faces. This involved their interests. Sure enough, the people from the Liuhua palace looked gloomy. The people from the 5 first-rate clans also looked cold. With so many forces joining hands, could they not take down the other party? Just with you guys? Lin Xian sneered. Whether it's a group attack or a one-on-one fight, I'll take it all on. As long as someone can defeat me, I'll give the Shadowless clan to you. Arrogant. He's too arrogant. The people from the Gu clan and Wuying clan were shocked. Is this Lin Wudi? He's really strong. As for the 2 overlords and the 5 first-rate clans, their faces turned gloomy. Damn it. The other party is just one person. So what if he's strong? The people from the Tianhe clan gritted their teeth and said, Let's go together and fight it out with him. I don't believe that he can stop us. Yes, that's right. Let's go together. The people from the Thousand Snake Valley and the 4 pavilions also agreed. The people from the sky-devouring palace and the Liuhua palace sneered. They had an absolute advantage, so they wouldn't fight one-on-one with the other party. All right, let's all attack together. Let's all use our strongest attacks and scatter this brat's soul. I don't believe that he can stop us. Those people surrounded Lin Xian. Not good. Gu Santong and the others' faces changed. They didn't expect these experts to be so despicable. Lin Xian smiled. They're really shameless. Do you think I'm not prepared? Come on, let's do it. Let the whole world see the ugly faces of the 5 great clans and the 2 hegemons. What does the whole world mean? The people from the sky-devouring palace frowned. Lin Xian said, "It's simple. I've already set up a few arrays to spread the news of the Thunder Mountain ancient land. As long as you guys attack together, the whole world will see it. It will even spread to the other realms. At that time, I'll see how you guys are going to hide your faces." What? They were stunned when they heard this. To be honest, although their methods were vicious, they still wanted to save face. After all, they were the overlords of the 5 first-rate families. It was definitely embarrassing for so many experts to gang up on a young man. Moreover, it might even spread to the other realms. If that happened, their faces would be completely disgraced. At this moment, Lin Xian spoke again. "My sect will also be able to see this array formation. My sect told me about it when I came out. If it's one-on-one, they won't care. But if anyone dares to attack together, my sect will quickly destroy them. You guys better think carefully. My sect has a frightening background." Hearing this, the people from the sky-devouring palace frowned. Damn it, this young man is so terrifying. He must be from a terrifying force. If they really ganged up on him and the news spread, his sect would probably go crazy. At that time, they might really be in trouble. But if it was a one-on-one battle, it might not be so. This kind of one-on-one battle was very common in the other realms. If one died, it was because one's own strength was not enough. Thinking about it, the other party's sect would not have the face to take revenge. Thinking of this, they all sneered. A one-on-one battle? Do you think you can survive a one-on-one battle? Kid, you're too reckless. Fine. Today, I'll let you experience the absolute strength of our great Yin planet. The powerhouses from the sky-devouring palace smiled. One of them said, "Who's going first? Don't worry, we won't treat you badly. Whoever goes first will get a bigger share of the Shadowless family's benefits." As soon as these words were said, the people from the 5 families were tempted. They still had some powerhouses in their hands. Chapter 3474. Let me do it. An elite from the Black Wolf clan walked out, causing everyone's expression to change, because it was the leader of the Black Wolf clan. Damn it, the Black Wolf clan beat us to it. The people from the Tianhe clan and the Four Directions Pavilion were shocked. They were prepared to take action personally, but they were still a step too late. The leader of the Black Wolf clan walked out, emitting a terrifying demonic aura that swept out in all directions. This caused the Shadowless clan to retreat. Boom. The Gu clan's third uncle also retreated to the back. Gu Sanong asked, "Third uncle, are you all right?" The Gu clan's third uncle shook his head. He was fine, but the situation was not optimistic. Although Lin Xian's performance was shocking, he knew that there were still some elites who had not shown their skills yet. If those elites attacked, would Lin Xian be able to withstand them? Even if he could withstand one of them, would he be able to withstand 5 or 6 of them? He did not dare to imagine. Buzz. The leader of the Black Wolf clan moved. He stretched out a black finger and pointed at Lin Xian. The finger collapsed the void, as if it had traveled through time and space, and it carried a terrifying demonic aura. Oomph! Lin Xian snorted coldly, and an unparalleled light burst out from his eyes. The golden hand stretched out and tore through the void, as if an ancient god of war was attacking. Boom, 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 boom. The golden hand grabbed the black finger and swung it forcefully. There was a crack, and the sound of bones breaking was like thunder. The black finger was broken, and blood flowed out wildly, piercing through the void. A miserable cry was heard. The leader of the Black Wolf clan screamed and retreated. His entire arm was trembling. The surrounding elites were also shocked, and their mouths were wide open in disbelief. The leader of the Black Wolf clan was injured. This was unbelievable. One had to know that he was a second heaven sage, and he was even stronger than the sage from the devouring sky hall. Moreover, he was the leader of the clan. How terrifying was he? But now, he was actually injured in a single move. Just who was his opponent? Wasn't he too strong? Trash! How dare you steal from the Shadowless clan? Kneel down and accept your death. Lin Xian sneered. Damn it, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to tear you to shreds. The patriarch of the Black Wolf tribe roared crazily. He rushed over again, turning into a black shadow that tore through everything. He was mad with anger. He was the chief of the Black Wolf clan. How terrifying was that? He had roamed the Grand Spill planet for so many years, but he had never been humiliated like today. Other than the two overlords, he had never been afraid of anyone. But now, an unfamiliar young man had actually injured him with a raise of his hand. This was no longer a slap to his face. He was so ashamed that he couldn't show his face. The terrifying black storm was like a heavenly blade, slicing through the void and sweeping towards Lin Xian. This attack was enough to shatter Lin Xian. Humph! Lin Xian sneered. In the face of such a terrifying attack, he didn't dodge at all. Instead, he pushed his divine body to the extreme. Those black storms crashed into his body, making earth-shattering noises. His body only swayed a little, emitting crackling noises. However, it did not shatter. Instead, it rushed forward. The surrounding people were so scared that their scalps went numb. What kind of physique was this? It was too terrifying. Lin Xian raised his hand and slashed out with the swords of laws. The terrifying 5-element swords brought with them a terrifying power as they fell from the sky. One after another, they continued to fall. The Black Wolf tribe's patriarch fought back. He was beaten until his entire body trembled, and many cracks appeared on his body. He was about to vomit blood from anger. Damn it, this young man was too strong. This young man was too strong. Before this, he had been swaggering around, looking down on this young man, thinking that he was an ant. He could suppress him in an instant, but now, he had been forcefully slapped in the face by this young man. He wished he could find a hole to crawl into right now. The Black Wolf tribe's patriarch? You don't even have the qualifications to be arrogant in front of me. Lin Xian sneered. The Black Wolf tribe's patriarch was so angry that he vomited blood. The power of his bloodline erupted, making him seem like a peerless monster. The surrounding great Tao rumbled. Terrifying laws danced between the heavens and earth. Black storm, boundless aura. With a crazy roar, the 9 heavens and 10 lands were shaking. One after another, black airflows descended from the sky. These black airflows had Tao runes. They were like huge mountains hanging upside down from the sky. Countless voids were trembling, forming a cage that enveloped Lin Xian. This was the Black Wolf tribe's unique skill. It was too terrifying. In an instant, the surrounding experts and saints trembled. They knew that a second heaven cultivator would be killed instantly in the face of such an attack. This young man was definitely dead this time. The Black Wolf tribe's warriors roared crazily. They had full confidence in their patriarch. Lin Xian snorted. The dragon soul in his body roared. He formed a seal with his palms, and the 5-element law quickly appeared in his hands. A wolf head appeared in his hands, emitting an unparalleled light as if it was a peerless, immortal light. The wolf head roared, and the 9 heavens and 10 lands trembled. The sky was shaking. Everyone around was stunned. A wolf head? Damn it! Who was he? Why did he condense a wolf head? Some others twitched the corners of their mouths. This was a provocation. The Black Wolf tribe was a branch of the wolf tribe, and the other party had used a great skill to condense a wolf head. This was definitely a slap in the face. Damn it, go to hell. Sure enough, the Black Wolf tribe's experts were furious. The other party had all kinds of skills, but he just had to transform into a wolf. This was a provocation. He couldn't stand it. So he roared crazily. As the palm fell, the black mountains in the sky kept falling. The entire space was completely destroyed. The ancient land of Thunder Mountain also shook violently. Roar! Lin Xian roared. With the wolf head attached to his fist, he also punched out. This punch was unstoppable. It was like a divine being. It directly shattered all the mountains. It hit the patriarch of the Black Wolf tribe, and his body exploded. Boom! The patriarch of the Black Wolf tribe was smashed into pieces and retreated. Behind him, a huge black hole was completely formed. Defeated, the patriarch of the Black Wolf tribe was smashed into pieces. This was unbelievable. You can't compete with me. You're still too far away. Let's find someone else. Lin Xian put his hands behind his back, and his eyes were filled with endless domineering aura. The people from the 5 first-rate families and the 2 overlords were all stunned. This person was too terrifying. Even the patriarch of the Black Wolf tribe was no match for him. Damn it! Damn it! The patriarch of the Black Wolf tribe reassembled his body. He was so angry that smoke was coming out of his body. He rushed over again. However, after 3 moves, he was defeated again. Everyone had gone crazy. They knew that the patriarch of the Black Wolf tribe was no match for the other party. The patriarch of the Black Wolf tribe did not dare to attack again. After being defeated 3 times, his vitality was greatly damaged. He was afraid that he would be completely killed by the other party. Who else? Lin Xian looked around disdainfully. Chapter 3475. Those weaker sages all lowered their heads, not daring to look him in the eye. Let me do it. The patriarch of the Tianhe clan walked out. He immediately used his ultimate technique, Heaven and Earth 6 directions. A disc appeared on his body. There were unparalleled Tao patterns on it, making him look like a Buddha. Huh! With a cold shout, the mountains collapsed and the void shattered. The surrounding people fell to the ground from the shock and kept rolling on the ground. It was a sound wave attack, and it was an extremely terrifying divine wave. Lin Xian also suffered a violent impact in an instant. Not only his body, but also his soul was about to be torn into pieces. Haha, that kid is dead for sure. Yes, our patriarch used the Heaven and Earth 6 directions divine art. He definitely won't be able to block it. The people of the Tianhe clan all laughed. As long as their patriarch killed the other party, then they would have a much higher share of the spoils. Heaven and Earth 6 directions divine art was just so. Break for me. Lin Xian let out a long roar, and his body shone brightly. At the same time, he let out a cold shout. His voice was like a dragon's roar, resounding through the 9 heavens and 10 earths. The void within 1,000,000 miles was completely shattered, and the ancient land of Thunder Mountain was also shaking nonstop. It was almost pierced through. The Heaven and Earth 6 directions divine art was instantly impacted and sent flying. The patriarch of the Tianhe clan was bleeding from his ears, and his 7 orifices were shattered. His entire body fell to the ground. He was seriously injured in one blow. What? Patriarch? The surrounding people went crazy. The people of the Tianhe clan roared crazily. Their patriarch had already fainted at this moment. Everyone was about to go crazy. Another clan leader had been defeated, and it was an instant defeat. This was simply unbelievable. Who else? Lin Xian asked coldly. The powerhouses of the 5 first-rate families all felt their scalps go numb. 2 patriarchs had already been defeated. The other 3 patriarchs' strength was about the same unless they attacked together. No one was a match for the other party in a one-on-one battle. Therefore, they looked at the 2 overlords. The 2 overlords' expressions were incomparably cold. The other party's strength was beyond their imagination. Ordinary elders and sages had no chance of winning. It seemed that they could only make a move personally. Interesting, I didn't expect to encounter something like this. I haven't fought for a long time. A figure from the Liuhua Palace walked over. He brought forth a monstrous flame. Immediately, everyone's hearts beat wildly. The palace master of Liuhua Palace. Heavens, is this overlord finally going to make his move? The experts from the 5 first-rate families felt their scalps go numb. The faces of the Shadowless clan and the Gu family also turned ugly. This was a saint in the late stage of the 2nd celestial layer, not far from the 3rd celestial layer. His strength was extremely terrifying. As soon as the overlord appeared, he suppressed the patriarchs of the 5 great clans to the point that they had to lower their heads. One could imagine how terrifying he was. That brat definitely wouldn't survive. That's for sure. This time, it's an overlord who's making a move. I don't believe that he'll be able to survive. Kid, you're not bad, but you have no chance of winning against me. I'll give you a chance to live. Scram, or you'll definitely die. It's too early to say that. A mere saint of the 2nd heaven is nothing in my eyes. Lin Xian snorted coldly. So what if he was a saint in the late stage of the second heaven? Since that was the case, there was no need for him to exist. The Liohua Palace Lord snorted coldly. With a wave of his hand, the law of fire on his body danced, and a pair of flaming divine wings appeared on his back. The flaming wings brought about a powerful storm. Like two flaming divine swords, they slashed forward. Such a slash was more than enough to split any clan leader in half. It's over. I wonder if Brother Lin can block it. Gu Santong and the others were extremely nervous. They didn't expect the two overlords to be so terrifying. In the face of such a terrifying attack, Lin Xian didn't move at all. His body shone brightly like a god of war. He stretched out his finger and drew a circle in the air. Star's transposition. A mysterious force emerged. The two flaming divine swords were flipped and slashed at each other in an even more terrifying manner. Boom, boom, boom. The void shattered, and flames filled the sky. It was a scene of apocalypse. The Liohua Palace Saint's pupils shrank. An unparalleled light burst out from his eyes, and a flaming meteor shot out from his body. It directly collided with the two divine swords. An earth-shattering explosion of energy. The battle swept in all directions. Everyone retreated. The Liohua Palace Lord attacked wildly, wanting to kill Lin Xian. All kinds of laws, mystiques, and sacred domains danced in the sky. It was too terrifying. The experts of the 5 great families were watching. Even the patriarchs were shocked. They thought that they were strong enough. But compared to the two overlords, they were still too weak. Boom, boom, boom. Lin Xian used the Kuren Pong movement technique and shuttled through the countless attacks. His body blocked everything. His hands danced, and the star's transposition was used by him. It had a mysterious power. All the power was diverted away by him. One hand turned, and the other hand was like a golden dragon, constantly attacking in all directions. The two of them exchanged more than 100 blows. The sky fell, and the earth cracked. Fortunately, this was the Thunder Mountain ancient land. If it were any other place, tens of millions of miles would have been destroyed. But even if it was the ancient land, the surrounding people were vomiting blood. The weaker ones had all fainted from the shock. How was it possible? He could withstand 300 blows from the palace lord. The saints of the Liohua Palace went crazy. That was their palace lord. No one below the third heaven could stop him. Here, other than the devouring sky palace lord, no one else was a match for him. They couldn't even block a single blow. But now, the other party had exchanged more than 100 blows, and he wasn't at a disadvantage at all. Buzz. Flying fire meteor. The Liohua Palace Lord used a peerless mystique. Hundreds of millions of lights turned into meteors and fell from the sky. Every attack could tear a sage apart. Hundreds of millions of attacks made the entire world lose its luster. Not good. This is a fatal blow. Retreat quickly. The patriarchs of the 5 great families roared crazily and retreated. The faces of the Shadowless clan and Gu family became extremely ugly. They created large spatial cracks in front of them and swallowed the aftermath of the energy. Lin Xian snorted coldly, and a cold light burst out from his eyes. At the same time, he formed a seal with his hands, and endless power burst out. The 5 elements law condensed in his hands, forming an ancient diagram. It was tens of thousands of dragons spiraling with an unparalleled aura. They roared in his hands, forming a diagram. The 10,000 dragons diagram. This was the illusion of an extreme weapon that he had created. At this moment, it carried a phenomenon of heaven and earth and bombarded the 9 heavens. Everyone went crazy. Even the Liohua Palace Lord's expression changed. This aura. He was too shocked. The aura in the other party's hand made his hair stand on end. What was this thing? Boom. The 10,000 dragons diagram was pushed out, and hundreds of millions of meteors collided. An incomparably dazzling light erupted between heaven and earth. No one could see it. Their faces were filled with shock. That was because the Tao diagram that the other party had used terrified them. Gu Santong clenched his fists in excitement. Although he couldn't see, he knew that this was the great dragon sword soul, the great dragon sword soul that could evolve all things. He also knew that it was the extreme weapon of the dragon race, the 10,000 dragons diagram. Chapter 3476. After some time, the billions of rays of light were all shattered, and a dragon diagram floated above the Liyue Palace Lord's head. 10,000 dragons pierced through him. Defeated again. Everyone went crazy. First, the 5 clan leaders had failed, and now, even the Liyue Palace Lord had failed. That was a late-stage second heaven powerhouse. They were the top saints present, but even so, they couldn't do anything to the other party. They felt a sense of despair and helplessness. I admit defeat. The Liyue Palace Lord said a few words with difficulty. He seemed to have aged a few thousand years in an instant. The 10,000 dragons diagram in front of him slowly disappeared. He spat out a mouthful of blood, and his body swayed, but he was supported by the cultivators behind him. I've lost. I can only rely on you now. The Liyue Palace Lord looked at a middle-aged man in a black robe in the distance. Everyone's gaze was fixed on the other party, as he was the sky-devouring palace's palace master. He was another overlord. His strength was about the same as the Liyue Palace Lord. The Liyue Palace Lord had suffered a crushing defeat, and logically speaking, the devouring Sky Palace Lord was no match for him, but everyone had no choice. This was their last hope. The devouring Sky Palace also felt the pressure, and they were extremely nervous. Originally, they didn't care about such a person, but now, the other party was too strong, and the 5 clan leaders and the Liyue Palace Lord were defeated. Now, only the devouring Sky Palace was left. Would their Palace Lord be able to withstand it? Palace Lord, why don't we stall for some time? I've already sent a message to the Supreme Elder, and he will probably come soon. At this moment, an elder of the devouring Sky Palace transmitted his voice. The devouring Sky Palace Lord nodded slightly, but he still stood up. I will stall for time, but I must take action in this battle. As an overlord, he had his own dignity and pride. Although the other party was very strong, and he might not be a match for him, he would still take action. Moreover, this time, he didn't think that he would be defeated, because he brought something with him. This thing was originally prepared to deal with the Liyue Palace Lord, but he didn't expect it to come in handy now. Buzz. 81 black holes appeared behind the devouring Sky Palace Lord, and he was like a peerless demon king. Was he going to make a move? The surrounding people sucked in a breath of cold air. They did not expect devouring Sky Palace Master to attack. That shouldn't be the case. The devouring Sky Palace Master and the Liyue Palace Master had similar strength. Since the Liyue Palace Master had been defeated, why would the devouring Sky Palace Master still make a move? This was a very unwise choice. The 5 patriarchs frowned. The Palace Lord of the Flowing Splendor Palace was also surprised. Although they knew that the devouring Sky Hall Master would make a move, they did not expect him to be so decisive. Could it be? He had an idea in his mind. In the next moment, his pupils shrank. Everyone was stunned. A beam of black light streaked across the sky, illuminating the heavens and exuding a terrifying saintly aura. It was a pagoda, a black pagoda. It was incomparably dark, as if it could swallow everything in the world. Sky-devouring tower. He actually brought the sky-devouring pagoda. Screams rang out one after another. The 5 patriarchs and the palace master of the Liyue Palace sucked in a breath of cold air. Hua Feiyu's expression changed. Oh no, it's the sky-devouring tower. That was a saint artifact. He finally understood why the other party dared to come out and fight. It turned out that the other party had brought a saint artifact, and it was the most famous saint artifact of the devouring Sky Hall. Kid, I admit that you're very strong. You actually managed to defeat the Liyue Palace Master. But it's a pity that I brought a saint artifact, the sky-devouring tower. My strength is not something you can withstand. No matter how strong you are, can you withstand a saint artifact? The devouring Sky Hall Master laughed. The experts of the devouring Sky Hall all laughed. The 5 patriarchs heaved a sigh of relief. The palace master of the Liyue Palace looked a little cold. He knew that the devouring Sky Hall Master had won this battle. But when the rewards were distributed, the Liyue Palace would probably be suppressed. But no matter what, there would be no exception to the outcome. The other party was undoubtedly looking down on them. A saint artifact? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. No wonder the other party was so confident. He had to admit that a saint with a saint artifact and a person without a saint artifact were two different states. They could not be compared at all. For example, the Devouring Sky Hall Master and the Liyue Palace Master were evenly matched. Even if they fought, they would be evenly matched. But if the Devouring Sky Hall Master took out a saint artifact, he would easily defeat the Liyue Palace Master. This was the power of a saint artifact. But this was a threat to the others. But he did not care. A saint artifact? He had one too. Boom, boom, boom. The 81 black holes on the Devouring Sky Hall Master's body devoured everything. His entire body seemed to have turned into a black vortex. The Devouring Sky Tower in front of him bobbed up and down. It turned into a giant abyss and swallowed forward. Everywhere it passed, everything turned dark. The Devouring Sky Tower was said to be able to devour even the heavens, let alone a saint in the first heaven. That kid would definitely die. He would be swallowed by the Devouring Sky Tower. In less than half an hour, he would turn into a pool of blood and his body and soul would be destroyed. The Devouring Sky Hall Master was indeed powerful. He had even brought a treasure like the Devouring Sky Tower with him. Exclamations of admiration could be heard. The people of the Devouring Sky Hall and the 5 patriarchs were full of confidence. They knew that this battle was over. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly. A cold light burst out from his eyes. In the next moment, he grabbed a black spear from the void and threw it forward. The black spear exuded an extremely terrifying aura. The other half of the sky turned completely dark. At the same time, an extremely terrifying dragon roar could be heard. Boom, boom, boom. A bolt of black lightning struck the Devouring Sky Tower fiercely. It was as if hundreds of millions of lightning bolts had struck at the same time. The powerful force caused the saints' ears to bleed in an instant. They couldn't hear anything? Those who were weaker had their bodies explode. Damn it, what happened? Not good. Retreat quickly. At this moment, the saints had all gone crazy. They attacked one after another and defended themselves. The impact this time was too terrifying. It was as if two worlds were colliding. After an unknown period of time, the terrifying aura between heaven and earth slowly weakened. The surrounding people also looked up at the sky in bewilderment. That was? They were stunned. In front of them, a black spear blocked the Devouring Sky Tower. The Devouring Sky Hall Master's blood was boiling. Blood flowed from his body. On the other side, the youth was like a god of war. He blocked it. Damn it. He actually blocked the Devouring Sky Tower. The 5 patriarchs were extremely shocked. Impossible. The Liyue Palace Master screamed. He knew the power of the Devouring Sky Tower. He did not have any chance of winning. How could the other party block the Devouring Sky Tower? The combination of the Devouring Sky Hall Master and the Devouring Sky Tower was enough to fight against a third heaven saint. Could it be that the kid was a third heaven saint? Thinking of this possibility, the Liyue Palace Master felt that he was going crazy. Chapter 3477. Damn it! You also have a sacred weapon. At this moment, the Devouring Sky Palace Master spoke. His words were full of shock, because only a sacred weapon of the same level could block his Devouring Sky Tower. What? A sacred weapon? It was a sacred weapon. The surrounding people were also shocked, and then stared at the black spear. The Liyue Palace Master was also surprised. It turned out to be a sacred weapon. The other party had a sacred weapon in his hand, and it looked like it was not inferior to the Devouring Sky Tower at all. Where did this kid come from? Lin Xian said. Yes, that was right. This was a sacred weapon. So, you think you can compete with me just because you took out the Devouring Sky Tower? You are overestimating yourself. Speaking of this, he waved his hand, and the Great Destruction Spear turned into a black dragon, with an unparalleled aura, and charged directly at the devouring Sky Palace Master. "How dare you underestimate me?" The devouring Sky Palace Master roared, and the black hole on his body floated, but it could not block the other party's attack. Even with the devouring Sky Tower, he was instantly sent flying. If the devouring Sky Palace Master had not protected his body, this attack would definitely have torn him apart. Boom, boom, boom. The great spear of destruction rumbled incessantly like giant dragons roaring in the sky. The devouring Sky Palace Master was forced to retreat. The surrounding people were all stunned. What kind of combat strength was this? To directly crush the devouring Sky Palace Master, it was simply too powerful. Damn it, let's fight it out with him. The Tianhe clan roared, and the eyes of the others were also red. At this time, they no longer cared about the array, even if others saw it. So what? They must kill the other party, otherwise, they would not be fated with the Shadowless clan. Charge! In an instant, many figures rushed up. Damn it! Despicable! Shameless! Hua Feiyu, Gu Santong, and the others roared crazily. However, there was nothing they could do. In front of such a great benefit, even if they were to lose face, they would accept it. Get lost! Lin Xian roared, waving the spear, and swept it down. At the same time, he used the stellar transposition to deflect the attack from the devouring Sky Palace Master. His attack shifted to these people. In an instant, screams were heard. Lin Xian then summoned the hidden immortal pagoda. The void was torn apart as a celestial pagoda descended from the sky, sending the surrounding people flying. The others still wanted to attack, but they soon stopped. They realized that the saints who had rushed over had all been sent flying. Those with minor injuries vomited blood. Those who were injured directly turned into a bloody mist. What kind of scene was this? It really stunned them. Lin Xian held the annihilation spear and stood on the dragon head with the immortal pagoda hidden above his head. He was like a supreme, immortal monarch as he roared to the 9 heavens. He sent the surrounding sages flying and then quickly charged towards the devouring Heaven Palace Master. His chi and blood were like dragons, and a terrifying power erupted. The battle between the two shook the heavens and earth. Boom, boom. After 30 moves, the hidden immortal pagoda knocked the sky-devouring pagoda away, and the great destruction spear pierced through the head of the sky-devouring palace master. His entire body was split into 2. Blood dyed the sky red. Devouring Sky Palace Master screamed miserably. The 2 halves of his corpse melted into the black hole. He wanted to recover and counterattack again. However, it was destroyed by Lin Xian with a punch. The black hole was smashed into pieces. Lin Xian was like a peerless god of war. The great destruction spear completely suppressed the sky-devouring palace master. The sky-devouring palace master could only use the sky-devouring pagoda to protect his body. He quickly roared, "Damn it! I admit defeat." What? I lost? The sky-devouring palace master lost. The surrounding people were full of despair. The sky-devouring palace master was their last hope. He was a late-stage second heaven saint. With the sacred weapon, he was definitely comparable to a third heaven saint. But even so, he couldn't defeat the other party. He was really too strong. Great, we won. The people of the Gu family all heaved a sigh of relief. The people of the Shadowless family all cheered. It seemed that the heavens didn't want the Shadowless family to die. Boom. However, at this moment, heaven and earth shattered, and a large palm descended from the sky. Suddenly, it grabbed at Lin Xian. It completely enveloped Lin Xian. That place turned into a void. It was pitch black. This strange scene caused everyone to stare blankly. Who is it? Did he make a move? The people of the Gu family and the Shadowless family were all stunned. Gu Santong and Hua Feiyu screamed. The experts of the Liuhua Palace and the 5 first-rate families were all stunned. They didn't know what had happened at all. Only the people of the sky-devouring palace laughed. It was the Supreme Elder. The Supreme Elder had made a move. What? The Supreme Elder? The Supreme Elder of the sky-devouring palace is here. After the others heard, their scalps went numb. That's a third heaven saint. If he makes a move, he can definitely suppress everything. They knew that the kid was hit directly. Even if he didn't die with the sacred weapon, he would be seriously injured. It was very likely that he would be completely annihilated because of his carelessness. In front, there was still a black hole, which made everyone despair. On the other side, an old man walked out. He was the Supreme Elder of the Sky-Devouring Palace. "Greetings, Supreme Elder." The experts of the Sky-Devouring Palace cheered. The Sky-Devouring Palace Lord also bowed slightly. "Supreme Elder, you're here." Although he was the Palace Lord, the other party was a third heaven saint. His experience was one heaven higher than his. He had to treat him with respect. The Supreme Elder nodded slightly. "The strong enemy has been killed, and we can divide the Shadowless family." "Oh, right. He has a sacred weapon. When we find it, we'll give it to you." "Thank you, Supreme Elder." The Sky-Devouring Palace Lord was delighted. The Sky-Devouring Tower in his hand was a sacred weapon, but it didn't belong to him. It belonged to the Sky-Devouring Palace. He just took it for his own use. Now it was different. He wanted to get a sacred weapon that belonged to him. In this way, his strength would definitely undergo an earth-shattering change. Thinking of this, the Sky-Devouring Palace Lord was extremely excited. "You want my weapon? Do you have the life to take it?" At this moment, a sneer came from the black hole in front. "What? He's not dead yet." The Sky-Devouring Palace Lord's face changed, and the others were so scared that their scalps went numb. A third heaven saint hit him directly, and he's still not dead? This is unbelievable. "Humph." The Supreme Elder also snorted coldly, and his face darkened. He once again threw out a few large black holes. They were like a demonic disk that destroyed the world. They kept spinning, trying to kill the people inside. Boom. Heaven and earth shattered, and in the endless black holes, a golden light lit up. Then, like the rising sun, it streaked across the sky, illuminating the entire sky. Then, a figure rushed out from the black hole. It was Lin Xian. "Kill." Lin Xian roared, and his voice shook the 9 heavens. His left hand drew the 10,000 dragons picture. In his right hand, the great destruction spear turned into a true dragon. Above his head, the hidden immortal pagoda descended again. The 3 peerless divine abilities continued to bombard him. The Supreme Elder in front also roared and struck out with a terrifying heaven swallowing black formless palm. Boom, boom, boom. An apocalyptic collision erupted once again. Chapter 3478. Both of them retreated. They were evenly matched. Everyone went crazy. The other party was actually able to fight evenly with a third heaven sage. This was simply too unbelievable. Damn it. The third heaven Supreme Elder roared angrily and took the Sky-Devouring Tower. An indescribable aura erupted from his body. It could suppress all the worlds in the universe. It made everyone's scalps go numb. It's over. The Supreme Elder was really angry. With his strength and the Sky-Devouring Tower, he was absolutely terrifying and surpassed everything. This time, even Lin Xian felt the danger. Indeed, the cultivation of a third heaven saint was too high. If he had a sacred artifact, the power was unimaginable. Therefore, he had to make a move quickly. Thinking of this, he snorted coldly. Golden light flickered in his eyes. It formed a mysterious pattern. In the middle, a black flame jumped out and grew larger in the sky. Whoosh! Almost in an instant, the Supreme Elder of the Sky-Devouring Hall screamed. He had just grabbed the Sky-Devouring Tower. He wanted to make a peerless attack, but black flames appeared out of thin air on his body. Extinguish! At first, he was disdainful. A black vortex appeared on his body, wanting to devour these flames. As a saint of the third heaven, this little bit of flame could not hurt him, but soon he was stunned. Because of the black vortex, it could not destroy these flames at all. Instead, it was burned to pieces by these flames. More and more black flames appeared on his body. White smoke and the smell of flesh and blood all came out. He was driven mad in an instant. In an instant, he was rolling in the air in pain. He could not even hold the Sky-Devouring Tower. What? The Supreme Elder. Everyone was stunned. They originally thought that the Supreme Elder would show his might and use the sacred artifact to sweep in all directions. But they did not expect to see this result. The Supreme Elder was burned to death by the black flames. He could not resist at all. Damn it! Go and save the Supreme Elder. The two saints of the sky-devouring hall rushed over in an instant. They spat out seawater all over the sky, trying to extinguish the black flames. But it was useless. Instead, the two of them were burned to ashes in an instant by the black flames. This scene made everyone dumbfounded. Two saints were instantly burned to death. What kind of flames were these? While they were in a daze, the utmost exalted elder was also burned to pieces. In the end, he completely disappeared, his body and soul destroyed. The black flames in the sky danced and then disappeared. Only a terrifying aura was left behind. Dead. The Grand Elder was actually dead. Everyone went crazy. They couldn't believe it. Previously, when the other party was fighting against the Liuhua Palace Master and the Sky-Devouring Hall Master, even though he was quite strong, he had still managed to exchange several hundred blows with them. All kinds of divine abilities were used, making them extremely shocked. But now, against the Supreme Elder, the other party had actually killed the Supreme Elder in 2 moves. Was this the true strength of the other party? They could hardly imagine it. The people of the Shadowless clan and the Gu clan were all stunned, especially Hua Feiyu. His body was trembling. This was the true strength of his master. He was really too strong. No wonder the other party dared to be so arrogant, fighting against 2 overlords and 5 first-rate clans alone. At this moment, everyone looked at Lin Xian with fear in their hearts. On the side, Fantasy looked at this scene and was also very surprised. As a guard, she was here to protect Lin Xian. When the utmost exalted elder came, she was ready to take action, because she knew that Lin Xian shouldn't be able to fight against him. But now, it was really too shocking for her. Lin Xian actually burned the utmost exalted elder to death. What kind of method was this? She had never seen that kind of black flame before. It seemed that her palace master was much more mysterious than she had imagined. Was he dead? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes slightly. He was also surprised. What he had just released was naturally the Yama flame. This was the flame that he had obtained from the reincarnation pearl. He had already gained initial control over it. At this moment, when he used it, it was really terrifying. As expected, the level 3 sage was instantly burned to death. Of course, Lin Xian's eyes were also faintly hurting now. Obviously, the power of this flame was too domineering. In addition, the effect was also surprisingly good. It killed a level 3 sage in an instant. Lin Xian looked around and said coldly, "Is there anyone else who wants to take action?" The scene was silent. No one dared to raise their heads. Even a level 3 sage was dead. They were not a match for him. At this moment, the Black Wolf clan's clan leader said respectfully, "Young master is mighty. We are sincerely convinced. We don't dare to think about the Shadowless clan anymore. Young master, please let us go." "Yes, we are sincerely convinced. Young master, please let us go." The Tianhe clan, Square Pavilion, and the other first-rate clan's clan leaders lowered their heads. They no longer dared to go against Lin Xian. When the people of Liuhua Palace and Devouring Sky Palace saw this scene, their faces were filled with despair. In the end, the Liuhua Palace Master and Devouring Sky Palace Master sighed. The two of them said helplessly, "We are sincerely convinced too." Lin Xian ignored these people and stared at Devouring Sky Palace Master. "Sincerely convinced? Forget it? You actually dared to send a level 3 sage to kill me. You will have to bear my wrath." As he said that, the great spear of destruction in his hand flew out and turned into countless dragons. In an instant, Devouring Sky Palace Master was sent flying. Devouring Sky Palace Master was pierced and screamed in the sky. That scene surprised everyone. They did not expect that the other party would still attack. The sages of Devouring Sky Palace were also angry. "Damn, brat. Don't be too arrogant. We have already lowered our heads. What else do you want? What else do you want?" Lin Xian sneered. "What do you think? You have already tried to kill me just now. Do you think I will let you go so easily? When these words came out, everyone felt a chill in their hearts. Indeed, the Supreme Elder of Level 3 Heaven attacked. If the other party was weaker, he would have been killed long ago. Therefore, it was normal for the other party to be angry now. But thinking about it, Devouring Sky Palace would not sit still and wait for death. Kill. Devouring Sky Palace Master roared to the sky. Damn it, fight it out with him. So what if he is strong? Let's attack together. At this moment, he could no longer care about anything else. He directly grabbed the Devouring Sky Tower and roared to the sky like a peerless demon king. Behind him, the sages and experts of Devouring Sky Palace also roared and stood out. Powerful sage aura crushed the sky. The people of Goof family and Shadowless family gasped. Next, there would definitely be an intense battle, and it would be a group attack. Once Devouring Sky Palace made a move, Liyue Palace and the 5 first-rate families would definitely make a move too. At that time, it would not be so simple. Although Lin Xian was powerful, he would not be able to block the attacks of so many experts and sages. In that case, Lin Xian would not be able to take care of their safety. In this battle, perhaps all of them would fall here. Why? You want to attack together? Lin Xian sneered. Dream, it's your turn. Chapter 3479. A figure dashed forward like a phantom. Soon, the people of the Devouring Sky Palace screamed in agony. Many experts and sages were split into pieces, and their blood dyed the sky red. What kind of scene was this? It was as if the entire Thunder Mountain ancient land had turned into hell in an instant. The people of the 5 first-rate families and the Liyue Palace were all stunned. They originally thought that they would attack the people of the Devouring Sky Palace and take advantage of the chaos to kill them. But before they could do anything, they found that the people of the Devouring Sky Palace were mercilessly slaughtered. This made them so scared that they didn't dare to move for a while. Damn it! The master of the Devouring Sky Palace roared crazily and activated the sacred artifact, but he was soon sent flying and his head was cut off. In the end, the master of the Devouring Sky Palace was blown up, and the other experts and sages of the Devouring Sky Palace were all killed. A figure appeared in the pool of blood in front of them. It was a woman wearing a veil. She was unusually beautiful and had a pair of translucent wings on her back. At this moment, they were stained with blood and emitted a demonic light. This scene made the surrounding experts' scalps almost burst open. They looked at this scene in horror. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. He looked at the Liyue Palace and the 5 first-rate families. Do you want to fight too? No. The Liyue Palace and the 5 first-rate families shook their heads crazily. They wouldn't dare to fight now even if they were given 100 guts. Okay, I won't make things difficult for you. Hand over everything you have, and I'll let you go. Then, Lin Xian asked Hua Feiyu to lead the people of the Shadowless clan to search there. He left all the storage rings, treasures, and weapons of the sages. Those people had their armors stripped off and left dejectedly one by one. Outside the valley, those people were still waiting excitedly. They wanted to see the results and see what exactly happened. Who do you think will get the lion's share of the Shadowless clan? Needless to say, it must be the 2 overlords. I think they will get half of the Shadowless clan's resources, and the other half will be divided by the 5 first-rate families. That's right, I think so too. Discussions broke out one after another. Suddenly, countless silhouettes rushed over from the Thunder Mountain ancient land. The people outside all became alert. Are they out? They were surprised. It was a bit fast, much faster than they had imagined. But in the next moment, they were all stunned when they saw those people. What the hell? What's going on? Why were these people's hair disheveled and their clothes disheveled? Could it be that there was a huge battle inside? However, that shouldn't be the case. After such a chaotic battle, they should be in pieces and covered in blood. From the looks of it, these people didn't seem to be seriously injured. There wasn't much blood on his body, but why did he look so miserable? F***CK, what are you looking at? If you keep looking, I'll dig your eyes out." A sage roared as his sage aura swept across the 9 heavens. The rest of the people retreated one after another. The saint's face was flushed red. He wanted nothing more than to find a hole to hide in. Not only that, his armor, boots, necklaces, earrings, and any magical equipment he had on him had all been looted. Was A of the others weren't any better than them. The surrounding people were pushed to the back, their faces filled with fear. That? Could it be the patriarch of the Tianhe clan? Oh my God, why is he dressed like a beggar? Look over there. There's the patriarch of the Black Wolf clan. He's the valley master of the Valley of Beasts. Why do they look like they've been robbed? Oh my God, what did I just see? The palace master of the Liuhua Palace has also been robbed. The people around them were going crazy. The 5 great clans and an overlord were in such a sorry state. Wait, where are the people from Devouring Sky Palace? They did not come out. Could it be that the people from Devouring Sky Palace did it? Oh my God, when did Devouring Sky Palace become so powerful? These people were bewildered. Devouring my ass. Get lost. Devouring Sky Palace has been completely destroyed. An elder in the square cursed. He no longer had the dignity of a sage. What? Devouring Sky Palace has been destroyed? Those words were like a bolt from the blue, stunning the people around them. In the next moment, they turned into a gust of wind and fled. Who knows what happened inside? But it must be very dangerous. Therefore, they had to run quickly. In an instant, the people around the Thunder Mountain Ancient Land had all run away. Inside the Thunder Mountain Ancient Land, the people of the Shadowless clan and the Gu clan looked at the piles of treasures in front of them and swallowed their saliva. This scene was like a dream. The 2 overlords and the 5 great clans had originally come to divide the Shadowless clan. But now, they did not get any benefits at all. Instead, they were robbed. This was simply like a fantasy story. Lin Xian looked at the Gu clan and the Shadowless clan. He said, "Everyone, please protect me. I want to cultivate." Lin Xian was tempted by so many resources. In addition, the Thunder Mountain Ancient Land was indeed a good place. Therefore, Lin Xian decided to cultivate here. Yes, young master. Hua Feiyu quickly led the people to retreat. On the other side, Gu Santong also led the people of the Gu clan to retreat quickly. They completely protected the ancient land of the Thunder Mountain Range. Lin Xian sat on the ground and began to absorb the resources. Just like that, he began to cultivate again. On the other hand, the outside world was in chaos. The news of the Shadowless Conference finally spread. The 5 great clans and the 2 overlords suffered a great loss. Even the Devouring Sky Palace Master and a group of elders were killed inside. They could not believe it. The Devouring Sky Palace was furious. The other top clans were also gnashing their teeth. They had decided to take revenge. In an instant, experts from all over the world came out. They formed a team and set off for the Thunder Mountain Ancient Land. Soon, they had surrounded the ancient land of the Thunder Mountains. The people of the Shadowless clan and the Gu clan had ugly expressions. There were so many experts. They definitely could not deal with them. Meng Meng snorted coldly. No matter who it was, she would not allow these people to hurt Lin Xian. At this moment, He Shan also transmitted his voice. He imitated Lin Xian's tone and began to transmit his voice to Meng Meng. Meng Meng thought that Lin Xian knew about the situation outside and quickly took action. What He Shan transmitted to Meng Meng was a set of formations. A set of formations that used the Thunder Mountain Ancient Land to set up. Logically speaking, setting up a formation required a large amount of resources. It even needed to carve Dao patterns and change the terrain of the mountains and rivers. It even required the use of the dragon vein to form a supreme formation. What He Shan taught them this time was not to use the heavens and earth, but to use people. There were many people in the Shadowless clan and the Gu clan. These people were not the best, but they were all experts. As long as they used the mysteries of the formation to bring out the power of these people, they would be able to form an unexpected power. Chapter 3480. Indeed, Under Dreamy's leadership, they formed a large array. The elites outside attacked several times, but they did not manage to break in. Half a year passed just like that. Both sides were still in a stalemate. On this day, Lin Xian opened his eyes. The resources in front of him had all disappeared. His aura had become even more powerful than before. However, he didn't feel much joy. Instead, he frowned slightly. Not enough. Just a little more. Just a little more, and he would be able to break through. Suddenly, he frowned and looked into the distance. What was the situation outside? Why were there so many people? Kid, you're awake. Hey Shan transmitted his voice. Not long after you left, those people came to take revenge. I gave them a set of arrays to hold them back. This situation has been going on for about half a year. Hearing this, Lin Xian rushed out. As expected, he found that the people outside seemed to be preparing to give chase and launch a new attack. He let out a roar and charged forward. His entire person turned into a peerless divine sword as he charged forward. In an instant, he rushed into the crowd. Everything that came into contact with his sword chi was sliced in half, and the sky was instantly dyed red. The people on the other side were furious. Damn it, who did this? They wanted to find the enemy, but Lin Xian's Kuan Peng Dao was too strong. Furthermore, at this moment, he attacked with all his might. Truly, no one could stop him. In the Thunder Mountain ancient land, the Gu family and the Shadowless family were stunned. Originally, when they saw the new attack, they felt a chill in their hearts. Because this time, the other party's formation was even bigger than before. They might not be able to fight back, but they did not expect that when they were about to lose hope, the other party would make a move. Moreover, countless figures fell from the sky. Experts had made their move, and they were helping them. Who was it? They did not understand. At this moment, Gu Santong exclaimed. It was Brother Lin. Brother Lin had come out. Was the young master coming out? Hua Feiyu was also shocked. Then, he heaved a sigh of relief. As long as his master was here, there was no danger. Damn it, it was him. It was that person. The 5 great families and the 2 overlords felt their scalps go numb. They realized that the person who came out was the one they were afraid of. That was a god of death. Damn it. The other party hadn't appeared for the past half a year, so they thought that something had happened to him. But today, the other party suddenly charged out. They were caught off guard. Quickly counterattack and kill him. We have more people, so we must kill him this time. The surrounding people roared crazily. They attacked like crazy, wanting to kill Lin Xian once and for all. Lin Xian roared in anger as he quickly attacked. With his left hand, he used stellar transposition to disrupt the energy of these people. With his right hand, he used the Great Destruction Spear to kill continuously. He was like a peerless god of death, attacking powerfully, piercing through the other party. A vacuum appeared in the sky, and countless corpses fell from the sky. The others were all scared out of their wits. Run quickly. They fled as if they had gone mad. They had never seen such a ferocious person before. Lin Xian snorted coldly and shattered the storage rings of the fallen sages. He gathered all the heavenly materials and earthly treasures around him. Then, he absorbed like crazy. He had to increase his cultivation speed as quickly as possible. Finally, a thunderous boom could be heard as a bolt of lightning descended. His aura was like a dragon as it shot up into the heavens. He had broken through. Lin Xian smiled. He had broken through from the first heaven of the Saint Realm to the first heaven of the Saint Realm of the Saint Realm. However, the increase in strength was also very terrifying. Furthermore, his speed of improvement was extremely fast. It was something that other sages could not even begin to imagine. Of course, the other saints did not have such an intense battle. Not good, the other party broke through again. Run. Those who had fled into the distance were still waiting to regroup and counterattack. However, when they saw that Chu Feng had made a breakthrough, these people were scared out of their wits. The other party had not even broken through, but he was already so powerful. Now that he had broken through a small realm, his power would be even more terrifying. Therefore, these people all fled. Lin Xian let out a cold snort. Ignoring these people, He turned around and landed near the ancient land of the Thunder Mountains. Young master, you broke through. Hua Feiyu brought people over. On the other side, Gu Santong also brought people from the Gu family over to congratulate Brother Lin for making another breakthrough. Next, Lin Xian and his group left and returned to the Shadowless clan's territory. He had the Gu family move here and begin to rebuild their power. As for him, he brought Meng Meng and wandered between the 5 great families and the 2 overlords. He also issued a warning. Anyone who dared to make a move against the Shadowless clan and the Gu family would be hunted down endlessly. The 2 overlords were silent. The 5 great families did not dare to say anything. Just like that, the Great Yin planet gradually settled down. The Shadowless clan and the Gu family once again joined forces and became a new power. Lin Xian left. He left behind an array formation and asked Hua Feiyu to send him resources regularly. Then, he left the Great Yin planet. Brother Gu, I look forward to the day when I can fight alongside you. At this time, Lin Xian and Gu Santong had a long talk. Gu Santong said, Don't worry, Brother Lin. There will be a day when I will ascend the ancient Star Road again and look for you. After waving goodbye, Gu Santong went into seclusion to cultivate. Lin Xian stepped into the starry sky. In the cold universe, Lin Xian sat in a spirit boat and flew. He had gained a lot from this trip to the Great Yin planet. He had met an old friend, learned about the secret of the Rinnegan, obtained the Yama flame, and his cultivation had increased by a small realm. He was very satisfied with all of this. Therefore, he was prepared to go back. He also wanted to see the situation on the Langya planet. How was it? Dragon Valley, 8 Wind Hall, and Seekong family? Had they left? When he arrived at the star field near the Langya planet, he frowned. Damn it. Not only did the front line not relax, but the situation was even more urgent. The situation was even more strict than when he had left. Damn it. These guys still haven't given up. Lin Xian's face was incomparably cold. Hall Master, should we break through? Dreamy asked from the side. Lin Xian shook his head. No, he wouldn't go back first. They are so aggressive. Do they really think I'm easy to bully? Next, I'll give them a big gift. Lin Xian's eyes flashed. He decided to ruthlessly suppress these people, especially the Vermilion Bird Palace and the Spacetime family. These 2 families had sent out too many people. It was obvious that they wouldn't give up until they found him. Since that was the case, there was no need for him to hold back. The spirit boat wandered in the nearby starry sky. Lin Xian didn't go directly. He activated the concealment array formation and then communicated with Black Mountain. Black Mountain, do you have a way to severely injure them? You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.